discord where I stand, chaos in my every hand. Goddess of the wild night, bringing dreams to shattered light. Valhalla's throne is where I reign, with a heart that knows no pain. Goddess of the wild night, bringing dreams to shattered light. Valhalla's throne is where I reign, with a heart that knows no pain. Arrows of courage and might, feel the passion, feel the pride. Crave the edges of my dance, take a leap, take a chance. Attitude to lights up the sky, sassy sparks that never die. In my world you'll find the flame, burning bright without a name. Feel the thrill inside your soul, breaking chains to make you whole. Through the chaos find your way, in my kingdom you will stay. Arrows of courage and might, feel the passion, feel the pride. Crave the edges of my dance, take a leap, take a chance. Goddess of the wild night, bringing dreams to shattered light. Valhalla's throne is where I reign, with a heart that knows no pain. Arrows of courage and might, feel the passion, feel the pride. Crave the edges of my dance, take a leap, take a chance. In the city, neon lights, dancing under cyber skies. Foxes running through the night, glowing with electric eyes. Wicked rich from the east, schemes and plans never cease. Flying with wit, she moves so fast in the shadows of the past. Cyber fox run away, alien dreams night turns to day. Project story of that time, in this world of code sublime. Glitch in the system, clocks rewind, secrets hidden you can find. Tech and dreams they intertwine, through the matrix undefined. Feel the thrill inside your soul, breaking chains to make you whole. Through the chaos find your way, in my kingdom you will stay. Cyber fox run away, alien dreams night turns to day. Project story of a time, in this world of code sublime. In the shadows I reside, with that fire in my eyes. Queen of discord where I stand, chaos in my every hand.
Oh my god.
Yay.
Yay. Hello everybody.
Hello.
I'm in such a good mood. Do you know why? What?
Why?
Because there were no hard fits in this episode.
That is always a plus.
Always plus.
That automatically gives the episode like a +1 bonus factor.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a +5 actually. It gets an extra 5 points just because the Harfoots aren't in it.
There was no Tom Bombadil. There was no Gandalf. There were no Hardfoots. The stupid Southlanders said it didn't. Weren't there.
If I remember, I think when we did the season finale last time, we gave the last episode like a couple extra bonus points because one of the Harfoots died. Just because of that.
True. That is true. Oh my god. Oh, do you want to know what the best part is though? The best part of this episode, Gladriel says nothing. Not a word. They didn't give her a single line.
She only has like a minute of screen time. She's barely in the episode, so that also helps.
I know. I was just like, oh, she's here. And then she said nothing. I was like, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You can contribute by saying nothing.
Because she never talked, it was her best performance.
Yes. Yes, it was. We were talking before the show, and we came to the conclusion that we think this is the best episode of the whole series. Not by like any normal measure of like good and bad or ratings or whatever. It's
I mean,
because
there's still problems.
We're still going to talk about the problems. Don't worry, there's still tons of issues. But the fact that the main focus of this episode were the dwarves, who I can actually tell, right?
Well, I don't know how much longer.
Show. I don't know. I don't know either. I'm kind of getting a little. There are worrying moments. I'm sad.
Yeah.
There's some worrying moments.
Yeah, we'll get there. Because apparently Disa woke up the Balrog.
No. She did not. I will defend her. She did not wake up the Balrog. The leaf did.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, a leaf woke. Disa did nothing wrong so far. So she just found a place in the mountain in a cave that apparently nobody. It's the you know. She found the secret.
Even though there were stairs going down there.
Yeah, she found the secret loot cache that you have to like be searching everything for. You know that you couldn't just you don't normally see if you were just She found the secret loots. Yeah. I understand.
Because she bought some sort of crystal ball. She bought some sort of crystal ball that is simultaneously really sturdy and very fragile.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
My brain was like, it kind of had a question mark and went dwarven bullshit. And I was like, I actually don't know. I don't know if we can let dwarven bullshit get away with this one.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Because they kind of went out of their way to show us that it was both fragile and crazy strong.
Right.
So,
but we'll get there.
Yeah, I don't think we can forgive them for going out of their way to show both of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
But only one episode this week that we're covering, so that helps.
I know. And there's not nearly as like okay, you don't understand. Harfoots are just make everything worse. There's nothing to enjoy. I mean, it is miserable. There is nothing about the Harfoots I enjoy. Okay, the elves are hilarious.
Well,
it helps.
Hold on. Are you forgetting in episode 4 of this season, a Harfoot got smacked in the face? So that's something to enjoy.
Okay, all right. There was one moment.
Yes.
That I was able to enjoy it. Okay. All right.
Yes.
There's no Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do 2 episodes at once. We don't have this. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So the Harfoot snack, that was like somewhat tall, but it wasn't the ones that needed to be smacked. So I kind of think it kind of comes out neutral, right? To get
okay.
Because it's not the ones that we wanted smacked. It's this new one that I don't really have that much of a beef with. The other 2 I have been dealing with far longer and have a lot of problems with. Although I almost think that the sandstorm, like it's like the sandstorm knocks like a little bitty bit of sense into Nori. Just like a little drop. Just like the tiniest drop of sense.
A little bit.
She immediately liked when it's convenient, but I'm trying to think.
And the sandstorm also gave Poppy jungle fever.
Sorry, what?
The sandstorm also gave Poppy jungle fever.
Apparently.
Am I on delay or something?
Honestly, I think you might be on delay. Am I? Maybe I'm on delay. I don't know. Hold on.
No, it might be me.
Is everything good? Everybody here? There's some tism happening.
I hear you.
Okay. All right. Say now as soon as I'm done talking.
Now.
Yeah, that's a delay.
Okay,
That's
so
like
that's
at least a 2 second. There's
all
a
right.
2
That's on
second
my
delay.
yeah. That's on my end. All right. I probably need to restart my router. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to him. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we figured that out early in the show because holy shit, that would have been annoying for both of us. So yeah, I'm trying to go through all the storylines. So we have Gil-galad doing Tismy stuff. We have Elrond. Elrond's on his own with the other elves. The only reason I kind of know what their names are is because of Amazon. When you're watching on Amazon Prime Video, you can see it says an X-ray, so you can actually see the names of the people and the characters they play while you're watching it. Then we have Adar now with Galadriel. We have Sauron and Celebrimbor. We have Celebrimbor, whatever his name is. We have the Harfoots. We have Gandalf. We have the Dark Wizard. We have and Feminim. We have, let's see, the Numenorians just in general, and sometimes they're broken up. You know, the Numenorians are kind of a general storyline, but they're then broken up like with what's happening with the queen, what's happening with the king, what's happening with what's his name? Isildur's dad. Elendil, I think his name is. Elendil, and especially now, like his daughter. And that's kind of a thing that's happening. And then you have Isildur, who is doing his own thing, but he's met up now with Elfman and the kid. I forget, Theo, that's his name. Gilda, I am not calling him that, Chris. No, I am not calling him that. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. I think those are all the storylines. It's a lot, you know, trying to keep up with all the storylines on it. This week, they focused on the elves. I'm sorry. Then we have the dwarves. My God, I forgot about the dwarves. We have Durin and Disa. Have King Durin, who kind of intertwines with Durin and Disa. But they're kind of also doing separate shit. So it's kind of similar to the Numenorians in that regard. So I was coming up with all of the plots that we're having to deal with.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot.
So there's a lot.
Yes.
These were the ones that are most dealable. You know, you have elves. You have the elves are just funny to me. Because
Everyone's an idiot.
you go from Lord of the Rings where like they're these wise, they're these wise old warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Are you still on delay?
Maybe. I'm just noticing that.
Okay. Maybe it's me.
Maybe.
It might be me. Okay, hold on. Let me leave now. All right. Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so we have the elves. We have whose plotlines are just incredibly stupid.
That's weird. It's not letting me leave.
Wow.
I say leave studio, and it says, "Are you sure you want to leave the studio?" I hit leave studio, and it says leave site. Changes you made may not be saved.
What
That's never
changes?
popped up before. I don't know. I didn't make any changes.
Okay.
I'm now scared to leave. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the
Okay.
thing I did before. I finished saying the sentence I want you to say now immediately.
Now.
Okay. There's like a second. We can deal with a second. That's fine.
All right.
It's less than before. So, okay. Ugh.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's been worse.
It's been worse. All right. I'm looking.
We've put on worse shows.
We have put on worse shows. All right. Hold on. All right. I'm looking at the episode.
Oh no.
Do. Ugh, I don't want to watch the intro. Go away.
But can we just... This episode does firmly confirm, though, that Celebrimbor is a moron.
Yeah, what do you think I did in my thumbnail? Well, actually, it's funny because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for the thumbnail, having not watched the episode, and I saw somewhere that somebody was saying that Celebrimbor was a really big idiot this episode, so I thought it was a safe bet.
And then you saw it.
Call him an idiot. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, no, 1000%. He is an idiot.
He's a colossal moron. Like, he's
Wow,
shockingly stupid.
I was impressed with his level of stupidity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a choice. So, okay, we're going to start off this episode, and we are in the mountains, because we're with the dwarves, which is a good way to start off the episode. The least annoying people of this series.
True. Very true.
Although
I think they're about to make them really stupid.
Yeah. Not to say they haven't been stupid before, though.
True.
They are the most tolerable. And honestly, the guy who plays Durin, the younger, and the chick who plays Disa, if they were in a different world, okay?
Yeah.
A different, like, fantasy world, I actually think they would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because they're actually, like, they have chemistry, they're good at acting. It's just...
The writers actually gave them something to work with.
Yeah.
Like, none of the other actors can say that.
No.
It's like, I mean, I know this cast is largely a bunch of unknowns, but I don't think it matters. You could get, some of the best actors in the world on this show. It would still be terrible because there's nothing there.
I don't think having unknowns is a big, like...
No. That's not a slight on the cast for their acting skills. I'm knocking the writers. They're not giving their actors anything to work with.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, but I mean, if you say you cast I don't know, Katie Sackhoff as Galadriel, I don't think it would matter.
No,
because she's written terribly.
And no, and I don't think Katie Sackhoff could pull it off at all. So, whoever it was going to be unlikable. Doesn't matter.
Right. It truly doesn't matter.
So we start off with the dwarves, and apparently the dwarven rings are now done. Holy shit, that was quick.
Yeah. And they look like ring pops again.
Oh, okay. Well, the other ones look almost okay, but the King Durin, he chooses
the ugliest one.
Pop. I love the blue. I just wish they were polished, man, or something. I just wish they were like. Are we really gonna sit here and say that they don't know how to do some kind of polishing when it comes to gemstones? Really? I feel like they do.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like they do.
No, I can overlook the rings being designed to look more like dwarven rings because they were crafted for the dwarves in this universe. But
but these were supposed to be the elves.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like in the actual story, they were all elven rings. But in the way they're doing it for this show, they are designed for the dwarves. But they didn't really look like they were crafted for the dwarves. That's my issue.
Like, they're chunky. You know, they're chunky and gold, but so were all of Gil-galad's rings before he got rid of them.
True, because Gil-galad is very fabulous with his rings.
Yes. So I like the blue stone. I just wish it was. It's straight. It's so blue. It definitely looks like a blue raspberry ring pop. There's like
it looks like a Jolly Rancher ring pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I could go for a Jolly Rancher right now.
Like, yeah.
Jolly Ranchers are statistically better than Rings of Power.
Statistically, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But so King Durin picks up the blue one. And
the one that was sitting furthest away from him is he had to like reach across the whole display in order to get it.
Though to be fair, the blue one looks the prettiest because of the stone, you know?
Yeah.
The other ones are like much more industrial, like geometrically, you know?
Why not have that? Why not have them like on a Lazy Susan so you could just like rotate it and to grab it instead of having like reach across the whole damn table for it?
I don't know.
Because they wanted that bright blue one right in front of the camera. That's why.
Yes. So. So he hasn't put it on yet. They really lengthen out scenes. Blah, 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 blah. He goes to put it on. And honestly, we don't see him put it on, but it's kind of implied that he puts it on. And we do see later he does end up putting it on.
He starts going Gollum.
Yeah, right.
We'll get to that.
The dwarves, yes. The dwarves are, they're trying to build an access shaft for the.
Which I thought that's what they were doing before.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought that's what they were doing before. I thought that's what they were doing before everything, right? Weren't they trying to build a new access point?
I don't know. I mean, they had that cave in because
Right.
of Mount Doom, and the timing on that is just like I can't. I have to literally ignore time to get
My
past.
mind cannot handle the timelines in this story.
No, it's particularly frustrating with the dwarves, though. After last episode, I don't know how far away Khazad-dûm is. You know,
from Aragion, but they just show up.
man, I mean, I swear they've gone back and forth between Khazad-dûm and Aragion like 4 times over the past couple of episodes.
Yeah, I mean,
so I have to assume it's short, right?
I mean, Durn's been to Aragion at least 4 times now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh. Ugh. All right. Again, access tunnels, and they're trying to read the storyline. They're like, I don't know. The mountain gets more and more unstable.
For some reason.
Man, did y'all pick like really shitty places to make those original access tunnels or access? You know, because I'm trying to think of this mountain as a house, right?
And all this would be solved if they decided not to do their farming underground.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with them doing it outside, you know? I mean, surely the dwarves go outside, right? They're in the mountain all the time. They do go outside.
Right. Yeah, it's
right.
They're not like the orcs that get burned up in sunlight, because that's something that happens in this series because we've seen it. Except when it doesn't.
Josh, your robot is really bad.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you working on a potato?
Seems that way. I reset.
You're better now. I don't know what happened.
I didn't do anything, but okay.
I don't know. That's weird. Maybe it's on my end. Let me know if I robot, because it could totally be me. I'm blaming you for it.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. All right. So the king's in the mines, and he's looking at what they're doing. You're kind of like, I don't know why the king's down here. You know, surely he has people who can tell him about this. I mean, it's nice that he comes down here.
No.
Kind of weird that he's down here. You know, and he's just kind of looking around.
Mm-hmm. And then the ring speaks to him.
Yes. So he starts groping the walls.
Yep.
Of the mountain or the cave they're in.
And then he demands an axe. He demands an axe, and then they hand him a pick.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is good. Well, I wouldn't use an axe on a cave wall, but I mean, he was like,
it's not even a pickaxe. It's a pick.
Yeah. So. And of course, they do the whisper voices.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course,
and Durn warns him, "Sire, that's a foundation wall."
Yeah, what is it? Foundation bearing wall or something? Like a load bearing wall? But it's okay.
Then we see it, it's just on the side of the mountain. It's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I guess technically speaking, you don't want to carve away the outside of the mountain, but That's also
That's clear-
exactly what you're doing.
And that's also what they did before because they needed to get the light in. So they
Yeah.
had to have carved into the mountain, all the way through the mountain, right?
Honestly, I don't. You know what bothers me is I remember history class, and
Mhm.
I remember I think it's in South America, but it might be Middle America, Latin America, whichever, where ancient civilizations would carve into like hillsides.
Yeah.
Like they would basically make stairs on hills where they could have crops, but also, not, they wouldn't have to, level a hill or anything like that,
Right.
especially in like more hilly or mountainous regions.
Yeah.
And it was because there really wasn't that much flatland, and the flatland they preferred to use for other things. And I keep thinking of that every time the crops thing gets brought up, and I'm like, surely, like you wouldn't build it into like the mountain, but surely you could have some kind of technique outside.
Yeah.
Right. And then I started thinking more about the light thing because I didn't really have that much issue with the light thing. And then I thought of something and I couldn't unthink it, and it's bothered me ever since. Terrace farming. Yes, thank you, Chris. Do you want to know what that is? It's a flight
What?
issue.
Oh,
Rain
what's that? Yeah.
and snow.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be hard to keep internal crops irrigated. Yeah.
Oh, I just mean there's holes. To the outside of the mountain. So if it rains, it's going to be raining inside. If it snows, which is common in mountainous regions, you know, like what if happens if a blizzard or something happens and
Or a bad guy explodes, because we see that also creates a lot of cold and snow.
yeah. So I'm kind of just sitting here like, guys, so like, in snow, when it snows, do you have something to cover that up? Because it's winter, and I'm assuming you'd want the internal temperatures to stay warm.
They put up the plastic sealants with the hair dryer over the hole.
Just like duct tape. Just put duct tape on like the. But then it's also not lit well because of that, So the holes, which I had no real issue with last week, I like the mirror thing. I didn't have that big of an issue with it. The more I have thought about it, the more issues I have found.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I can't unsee the. So when other weather besides perfect sunniness happens, what do you do? Like a windstorm. What do you do? A thunderstorm. What do you do? What do you do if there's snow? And snow is the worst one, in my opinion. Just because,
yeah,
I don't know how you deal with that. You could put a bucket down, I guess, for the rain, and for the wind, you just got to bring shit inside, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That kind of bothers me a lot. The holes bother me. So I know we saw holes in the mountain in Tolkien, but I kind of just assumed they were like sunlights,
Mm-hmm.
kind of let some kind of sunlight in, but they had like a way to block it off. I didn't think of it as like, you know,
Just a hole.
I don't know. I didn't think of it as like a hole for like mirrors and stuff and farming particularly, especially when you can literally just walk outside and do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't just own the mountain; you own the land around the mountain, presumably. So,
I would imagine so. Yeah.
and like, it makes a lot more sense to use soil, that is already there outside than having to like bring it in and whatnot. Like that makes a lot more sense. Have little greenhouses, kind of built into the mountain maybe or something. It's really hard to grow exterior crops inside while also trying to have all the advantages of inside, but
Yeah.
somehow, it's like, go ahead and try to grow a vegetable in your house.
I mean, there's a reason why in a lot of fiction, dwarves are usually depicted as not having crops like that. They focus on harvesting foods that don't need a lot of sunlight, for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of I'm stuck. I can't unsee I'm confused by it. Because it's literally just a hole to outside, as we see in this episode. King Durin goes through and actually opens up the side, and it's literally just a hole on the side of the mountain. Is all that it takes. And I'm just like, guys, like you could just go outside. Go touch grass, dwarves. I don't.
Yeah, so
you're doing it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It works, and then he starts just going around like, okay, here and here and here, and it reopens the mountain up to the sunlight.
Yeah.
And then King Durin gives a speech that is so dumb, I had to pause for a moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. The whole thing, the mountain hole thing really like screwed my brain up. Because I was
fair.
Totally okay with it until I thought snow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But King Durin's speech was so stupid.
Yeah, if they take so long to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, that tree. So inside Prince Durin's like room, basically.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have his own like place. He has a room. Basically like living in his dad's guest house, right? Except it's a guest room. The tree that Elrond gave him the seedling for, right?
Yes.
That's blooming.
Yes.
So this is my thoughts. So that's inside his basically quote unquote like the closest thing he has to like a house, and there's a light there.
Yes.
Which means there's one of those skylights. Which again, I have to go. What happens with those?
Is every single house getting like a special sun lamp aimed at them? Because that would take forever to do that.
No, it does bother me that like the whole thing bothers me. It really does. I can't stand. Now I can't stand these sunlight things because I need more. I need more information. How do you keep weather out? Am I just overthinking this? Like, how do you keep the weather out? Again, snow. Snow's a huge issue for y'all because you live in a mountain. So, I can't see it. No. All right, I'm looking at the speech. Hold on. Here we bring the sun to us.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like pity the outside world that has to live in the sun. We bring the sun to us. Like,
yeah.
weren't you in like? Wasn't your civilization brought to a complete standstill because you lost contact with the sun?
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Yeah.
When I heard that speech, I had to pause the episode and just take a moment. Like, are you serious? Really?
Yeah. So, yeah. And then we cut to our favorites, Celebrimbor and Sauron. Isn't it exciting?
Sauron / Halbrand / Anatar.
I'm just calling him Sauron at this point.
Yeah.
Celebrimbor is like, hey, I'm so happy because we did a good. We made the rings.
We fixed
did it good.
We fixed the dwarves. Yay, us.
Yeah. So. And here's something fun. We get to see kind of a something that I have questions about.
Yes.
You know, the doors of Durin.
Oh God.
So
one that Smithy dude, you know, he made great time to Aragion and grabbed a door and heading back.
I don't even like. I'm trying to figure out are the dwarves presenting it to Celebrimbor or is it vice versa?
Well, they showed the elves develop. They showed the elves developing that, for lack of a better term, technology. So
yeah,
I think it's the elves presenting this gift to the dwarves, which I'm like, why wouldn't you craft it at the mountain instead of bringing these huge slabs of rock to
so here's the
Erakion, and then have to haul them back? Why wouldn't you just craft it at the mountain?
Okay, so it gets more fun. Isn't the room they're all in at the top of the tower?
Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah. So they need to go down the stairs with them. Maybe there's an elevator. Who knows?
I have to imagine there has to be either teleportation magic or an elevator.
I didn't consider that. Yeah, that room's on the top floor.
Yeah. So these huge, like, probably 2 tons of rock are now carved
Easy.
with like elvish, like it's like elvish and you know. But I'm just sitting here like, so they're now part of your West Gate. Why didn't you literally just go there? I don't understand. Why can't you just go there and do it? Because like now they're gonna have to now they're gonna have to measure out to carve out these doors and put these in. Right?
Yep.
All of that is so much of a pain. You had to bring it all the way up. Just here, you lazy fuck. Leave and go. I don't understand. I don't get it. So very
And
strange.
hold on, I'm looking it up. Hold on, I'm looking it up because I want to see. Because I thought it was
I thought they were
named
part of the mountain.
after. Because I'm pretty sure the
I couldn't remember the name of the door of the doors. Okay, I just couldn't. But I knew what doors they are. They're the ones from Fellowship.
yes.
So
And the wiki is telling me nothing. Just they were built. Okay, yeah. It does say that they were built in the dark cliffs of the mountains to protecting the entrance that became the Mines of Moria. Like, yeah. It's like, yeah, of course they would be built there.
of course they would be built there. Why would the doors be built somewhere else and then brought back? That would be dumb.
Yeah.
Also, is it just me or do they seem too short and too small? I definitely thought they were bigger. Am I crazy? Am I misremembering Fellowship?
I mean,
it's kind of hard sometimes to get a scale of things because of how big the handoff is.
Right. Yeah, especially when you consider these are doors for a dwarven kingdom, so you'd think it would be built on a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's like the sizing seems wrong, and I can't figure out whether it's too big or they're too small. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
being weird. I guess I can just like. I'm surprised they were able to actually. They kind of look. They look similar enough, right? So that makes me go, okay, if you could do similar enough with those doors, why the hell couldn't you do the same with the rings and make them look good? That's just me.
yeah.
Also, I just want to state for the record, the rock the doors are in definitely looked plastic to me.
They did. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I thought I was being mean. Sometimes I think I go too far with, me condemning the show. But that's rated like it's plastic, and then I remember there's $1 billion put into the show.
True.
Weren't the doors of Durin meant to be these secret doors, essentially an escape route? Yeah, I thought that was the emergency exit. That's kind of what I thought it was. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, and only like the most trusted people knew about it, and the trusted people not being Mark. Chonk it, buddy.
What, Mark? Oh my god. So, yay, the elves and the dwarves are on good terms. I'm sure this won't go terribly wrong at some point.
Nah.
Nah. And then Sauron very broodingly goes up to the balcony. And it's like, and Celebrimbor's like, hey, did I do good, Dad? Did I do good in my speech? Did you like it? Are you proud of me?
The doors of Durin were just an access point for trade with the elves on the west side of the mountains, which is why the secret password was friend.
Okay. No, it's not.
Okay.
All right. I thought for some reason I thought it was an emergency exit, but that's just because it was like, they were more hidden. But yeah, all right, that makes more sense because that way, yeah, you know what? That does make more sense because it's Elvish, so it's like Elvish writing on a dwarf mountain, and the only two species that would know how to get in and out to trade would be the elves and the dwarves, which is what that was meant for. Okay, I'm cool with that. That's fine. I like
Okay.
that. It wasn't really a secret. Okay, all right. Now I'm feeling like I'm gonna have to rewatch Fellowship. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Okay. Yeah.
I still think they should have been made there. I'm standing by that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ludicrous to haul them all the way back.
Yeah, they should have just made them there. Yeah, I really don't have an issue with it just being a trade route. Then all right, cool. I'm glad we have a Tolkien nerd in the chat. Thank you, Light Blinded Fool. I appreciate that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, saves me from having to Google it myself, which I always appreciate. Wow. Sauron. Sauron's being Sauron, you know. It should be a night of celebration, right? Oh, we've helped the dwarves. Everything's going correct, and no. Sauron's pouting because he's not getting because he wants 9 rings for men. Definitely. I'm a nerd for sure, but only read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, so don't know as much as some. That's all right. I didn't get through the Silmarillion. I will eventually get through it. I've read The Hobbit, I've read the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and watched all the extended editions. But
I've read The Hobbit multiple times. I've read Lord of the Rings multiple times. I've only gotten through the Silmarillion once. It's not the easiest read.
No, I have a hard time with names, so that's what my brain has a harder time with it than I would imagine most.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Sauron's pouting because he wants Celebrimbor to hurry up and do 9 rings for men, which is something I thought that was already discussed, but I guess not. I guess I imagined it. And Celebrimbor's like, ugh, gross.
Mark, I would love to see that. I want to read that book.
Read the Hobbit Arwen's Journey. That's funny. But Celebrimbor has like one of the funniest lines for of all people to have said the line that Celebrimbor says here. Him saying it is by far the funniest. So I'm just gonna read it out what he says.
Okay.
It is a game you play, is it not?
Oh, this
Sowing seeds in others' minds and then convincing them that the fruit is of their own thought. And I'm just like, Celebrimbor, you've been manipulated by Sauron like the entire time you've been here, and it's like laughable how pliable you are in his hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, of all the people. So, like, you recognize what he does. And you don't realize that's what he's doing to you.
In fact, he just tried to do it to you. He just tried to gaslight you, you moron. He was like, you're talking about the rings for men. And he's like, I didn't think anything about rings. It's just like, well, that's obviously what you're implying because you've talked about this before. It's just
and Mark, I believe that would make Smudge Smaug, which I'm completely down for.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Caliber is like, hey, I don't actually care about the rings for men. Okay. I'm just. Can we not just celebrate like one night? I just want one night to celebrate because yeah. Caliber thinks that they did something good. He's like, yay, we helped.
Yay, team.
I'm happy. This is so exciting. Yeah, and Caliber again has a funny line. He says, "Much of the misery of men is of their own making," and my brain immediately was like, "Yeah, the show, for instance." The good indication of that. Is holy shit, this is a miserable show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's so funny. Caliber was like, "Oh, I've been informed that the men of the Southlands aided Adar in his conquest in the first place," and I'm like, "Yeah, like 10 of them, and then one village basically helps them." That's kind of
Basically.
what I remember. One village. There's so all of the people in the Southlands did not help him. None of the Numenorians did. You just start going down this list. There's other people in other places. I don't really know how Rohan came into existence, and other little villages and areas that popped up between there. It's like there's a lot of men from what I remember in Lord of the Rings. A lot of men settled areas. And one village of people made you you're just okay, Caliber, you're racist. What, like a few bad apples made you turn against an entire race? I think that's made you prejudiced. I think that's racist, man. So does "this is a miserable show" come from it not being accurate to the lore because the writing doesn't seem to be accurate to the writings of the show or the special effects? How do I put this? They're making a show over a time period that they did not have rights to. Therefore, it cannot be accurate because they do not have the rights to it, to what they actually need to properly succeed in this show. Then, on top of that, it appears that nobody, like having the 3 rings in the first season created first is kind of screws up the entire timeline for the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the dialogue is just not good. Dialogue's not good.
No, for the most part, I would say, even if it's completely divorced from Tolkien's world, it's still not telling a coherent story. Things keep changing. Nothing makes sense.
Yes.
So it's inconsistent. So it's not just inconsistent with Tolkien, it's also inconsistent with itself.
Yes. It doesn't need to be 100% accurate with Tolkien.
No.
I do not. For instance, the Peter Jackson movies, I think, cut out some good stuff. Like, cutting out Tom Bombadil, in my opinion, in the Peter Jackson movies was a good idea. Along with the burning of the Shire at the end, I think that was a good idea, too.
It's one of the, it's one of those, like, the burning of the Shire, that's something, it works in the book. It doesn't, yes. But it doesn't translate the medium of a film.
Correct. I agree. Inconsistent with itself is a valid criticism. Let's see.
Well, you have Poppy taking the role of the new map keeper, and then she just abandons everybody to join up with Nori.
Yes.
It's like you told Poppy's story, and now she just abandons it. Like, oh, okay. Well, that story meant nothing then.
Correct. Let's see. Gil Galad, I cannot get a grip on what his goal is. It seems,
Mm-hmm.
It seems to change he had a very firm dislike of Galadriel, and quite frankly, when she showed up on season 2, episode 1, she should have been like thrown in prison. There is like no reason she should be. She should have been stripped of her title and thrown in prison. She gave up, and also it's like very obvious from Gil-galad's point of view, or at least it should be, that she's been thoroughly corrupted by Sauron.
The way they are depicting things, yes.
She gave up heaven. She gave up going back to their, the Valinor to search for Sauron, who then proceeded to again corrupt her, manipulate her. Very easily, might I add. And there is no reason Gil-galad should trust anything that comes out of her mouth. She should not have gotten a ring. She shouldn't have been a part of the party that was going to what's it called? Celebrimbor City. My brain just died. What's that city called?
Linden.
Linden, thank you.
Oh wait, no, Celebrimbor, that's Eregion.
Eregion. There's no reason for any of that. Like, as far as I was concerned, Gil-galad was a bit of a like, hey, you will obey me, and if you do not, I will find a way for me to get what I want. Right? I'm not getting that in this season.
There's also the inconsistency. We see that the Southlanders, they were not trusted because of their worship of Morgoth and Sauron.
Ancestors worship,
right?
Not them themselves,
right? But Waldred was.
Waldred is one. He is not all of them.
That is true, but he is. But they are kind of kept. They're kind of, the elves keep a watch on them because they helped Morgoth and Sauron. And we see Waldred is a disciple of Sauron. Yet in this season, at the very beginning of season 2, we see that Sauron was in charge for like a minute before he died. So why would anyone be revering Sauron in this world?
I don't know, honestly. Let's see what's been said. Just because she became the map keeper doesn't mean she can't go with her friend and have it. No, I mean, that's fine. She's just totally abandoned everybody along with the map. They're now lost. By all means, they have gone off trail. Because they don't have it. Because she brought the maps with them.
Yeah, she did.
She brought the maps with them, so they don't know where to go now. So I don't know what the other Harfoots are supposed to do, because their map keeper and their leader has essentially abandoned them. Be an interesting side story to hear if we didn't have 20 already. How they feel about that, but we're not getting that.
And then we also have the drama between King Durin and Prince Durin. He's clearly stripped of his title in season 1, and then he just says in this season, I didn't mean it. But then they make a point of him like getting his title back in this episode. So things are just so inconsistent.
Yes. Gil-galad is the own king, of whom many sing, but Galadriel and Elrond are big movers and shakers of their own. I agree that they are.
Not denying that.
That's let's see, too. So he has to kind of listen to him. As far as I'm concerned, he should have thrown Galadriel, and he should have thrown Galadriel away. Also, Elrond, essentially, would you say he committed treason by jumping off the cliff?
I mean, he violated a direct order from the king, so yes, technically.
Okay, so he's also committed treason, and yet he ends up sending them away on like probably the most important mission. of telling Celebrimbor that that Halbrand is Sauron and do not trust him. Something that, in my opinion, Galadriel should have done before she even left Aragon. It speaks to his character that he does listen. I don't see why he would, because of the level of disobeyment. It just, it just, I don't know. Doesn't seem like he would do that based off season 1 Gil-galad, who was basically, it seemed like a no-nonsense type of person.
Inconsistency would be getting removed as prince and then still being the prince without a reinstatement. Okay, I mean, that's true, but the motivations behind it stayed the same, because King Durin tells Disa that he's just over exaggerating things. I didn't mean that. But he took his princely necklace off of him, telling him he's no longer worthy of it. So the king's words are inconsistent with his actions.
Yes.
Then you also have the whole when Sauron gets stabbed with his own hat, he explodes and turns everything into a winter wasteland. And yet in the first episode of season 1, they talk about how this place is so evil because Sauron was doing experiments on the orcs, and we see like orcs like frozen to the walls and stuff like that. Well, how'd that happen if that whole place didn't become frozen until he died?
I don't know. The orcs were frozen when he died.
But they didn't show that. They showed all the orcs that were so close to him getting right back up. We didn't see any of them like frozen to the wall or anything. And they also say that in episode 1, they talk about that he conducted experiments on them. But in episode 1 of this season, they talk about how we see him kind of starting to take command of the orcs.
Yes.
A big frozen explosion experiment. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, I will. You know what? I'll accept that. All right. He wanted to see movies, so he exploded. I'll accept that. I just think everyone around him should have died. I don't know why. The closer you are to the explosion, the less likely you are to get frozen. That's that's a weird. But also, fire's not hot for the most part in this universe.
At least not in this realm, because it's so evil.
Definitely not. All right.
Anyway.
You want to get back to the episode?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Celebrimbor and Sauron are fighting not fighting each other. I mean, they're kind of like arguing, I guess would say. Because Celebrimbor doesn't want to make the 9 rings for the men. They're too corruptible. Yeah.
But that line also implies that he knows the rings can be used for corruption.
Yeah, I didn't think that's funny because, what number are we on? We're like 10 rings in. He knows that they can be corrupted. So
yeah.
Sauron wants. It seems like he wants to give the rings to Numenorians, which I don't know. I mean, I guess that would, yeah. I guess that would be the people you would give them to.
If you had to choose, probably.
I think the superhuman men, like the superhuman version of men, you'd want to give it to them.
Yeah. Unless they were all mostly terrible, terrible people.
Definitely not happening. Let's see. So, Numenor is kind of in this weird, like, divide at the moment.
Right.
And Sauron wants to make the rings for it to be more stable. I don't see it. It definitely feels like Sauron's reaching for a reason to give rings to men, and Celebrimbor's not having any of it. He's like, nope, they're too corruptible. Nope.
Which again underlies his motivation entirely. So like, wait, so you understand that your rings can be used to corrupt people?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't blame Sauron because again, I would 1000%. If I'm gonna pick any people of the race of men, I'm gonna pick the Numenorians who are the best. They're supposed to be the smartest, supposed to be like the biggest, strongest, overall most technologically advanced. So obviously those are the people I'm gonna want to corrupt. But yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Because they're such an incredibly wise race that listens to some random eagle.
Yes. But the eagle thing doesn't make sense at all.
No, it really didn't.
Yeah, and I don't have a map like just straight on me, but from Numenor to Rune, I don't know how far of a distance that is. Is it big?
Sizable?
Sizable? Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty sizable.
The greatest kingdoms of mortal men. That's how they're putting it. All 9 of them. Which, yes, that does end up happening, I think. And let's see. God, they just take so long to say everything.
I know. Oh God, do you think they're going to retcon things and have Farazan be the head ring wraith?
Considering I don't know who else it could be at this point in time.
Yeah, there's not many men, characters from the race of men in this. So it's like, if you're going to start doing that, I guess Farazan and his son would be 2 that would get the rings. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna start introducing a shit ton of new characters.
But to be fair, in this episode, they did start introducing the other dwarven kingdoms a little bit.
We get a glimpse of them. True.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be that surprised if they did the same thing with the men. I do think they're speeding up quite a bit. It kind of feels like they're both speeding up and slowing down at the same time.
Yes.
It's just like we're going very quick as far as like very important plot points go, but also going very, very slowly.
Yes, because the whole manufacturing of the rings, Sauron corrupting them, him creating the One Ring, the elves rejecting those rings, him gathering them up and giving them to the other races. That took hundreds of years.
Yeah, this is taking 2 weeks, it feels like.
Yeah.
I think by the end of the season, he's going to have crafted the One Ring. I'm going to put money on it. Monopoly money, not actual money, but I'll put money
Yeah.
on it. Not
I'll-
really, but
I mean, because I don't know. There are reports that Amazon might be considering canceling.
well, honestly, that would explain the pacing change.
Yeah.
Although I thought they had to do 5 seasons.
You can always negotiate a new deal.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Because what the new Tolkien guy is on as a producer.
Okay.
Is it Sam Tolkien? Whatever. He's on as an executive producer. So if it can be shown, like, this show is hurting the brand, they could make a new deal and like, nah, let's cancel this.
I can't imagine it's a moneymaker for Amazon. You know?
I can't imagine it either.
Well, they don't have merch rights, right?
No, they do not. That's why, like, you don't see any like T-shirts or action figures of these characters. You see tons of the Peter Jackson stuff, but nothing from this show.
Yeah. So after Celebrimbor and Sauron debate, or argue, I guess would be a better way to put it, about the rings and having rings for men, Celebrimbor is like, no, the rings of power are complete, and he's like, nope, no, they're not. I'm gonna make the 9 myself. And Celebrimbor just is allowing this to happen. He's just kind of like,
yeah, he has a look of contemplation and concern where he doesn't do a damn thing.
No, I mean, why would he not? I don't know if he would kick him out.
It's his forge.
I understand that.
He can just say no.
I know. He did say no. Sauron said, well, I'm doing it anyway, because apparently no means yes in Sauron's brain.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? And I'm trying to think, like, what would this Celebrimbor do? It's like, I at least expected him to ban him from the Forge. Like, he could stay there if he so desires, but he's not allowed to have the Forge. And then he could manipulate other people into doing it, right? And then have something happen where it pulls Celebrimbor's attention away, and the woman that Sauron's been manipulating.
Or he could, like, forge a letter from Gil-galad, so Celebrimbor, leaves.
Yeah,
and then the main apprentice, as his main apprentice, he can tell the others, okay, before he left, he gave me instructions. We're doing this, and he starts making the other rings. There's things you could do instead of just him going, I'm doing it whether you tell me to or not. And he's just like, okay.
Like, he knows how powerful these rings are. So the fact that he's worried about corruption, it's like, okay, so you should stop him, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But before, but yeah, I like your idea of having a letter from Gil-galad come in where he needs him immediately. Oh, he's in trouble or whatever. He kind of gets Celebrimbor back for not, agreeing with him on everything. Then leaves the lady in charge, who is obviously basically a puppet at this point for Sauron, because she's so just she's basically so useless against his, I don't know if I'd call it charms, but that's what I've got.
Oh my god, when she reacted after she got taken off the ring, the ring taken off of her, I didn't buy a single line she was saying. I was like, oh, this performance is terrible.
Yes. So Celebrimbor's just going to let Sauron make the rings. Great. Wonderful. Do you know where we're going next, though? Numenor. How exciting.
Yay.
This is a location it's funny because the show did, like, maybe be, like, one good thing for me. and I have now interested in the fall of Numenor because I mean I'm a total sucker for stories of hubris, you know.
Mhm.
I love those types of stories. You know, you get somebody who's super arrogant, and because of their arrogance, they get punished for it.
Right.
Usually in a pretty how would I put it? Catastrophic way.
Mhm.
And I'm a sucker for those stories. So eventually, I will read about the fall of Numenor. Um, I'm very excited about that.
Oh, you didn't get that far in the Silmarillion?
No.
Okay.
I got to so I got right. I did like the first I think 6 chapters. Right before it becomes like about the Cimarrols. And then they
Okay.
started throwing names at me. They threw like 12 names at me on like
Yes.
2 pages, and my brain overloaded, and I had to put it down.
That's
Um,
fair. That's fair.
and they all
It's
sounded
again,
vaguely the
it's
same.
not the easiest read.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that they all sounded vaguely the same, and I'm just like, I really want to read this, guys. I'm interested in the lore. I
Yeah.
am. It's just, can, can you name them more different?
I mean, it's kind of the same with the Game of Thrones history books, where
Yes.
it's like Aegon and then Aegon the second,
Aegon.
Aegon the third, Aegon the fourth, Aegon the fifth. It's like, oh dear
Aegon.
God!
And then we have varieties of them, or we have, Rhaenyra and Rhaenys and all this other stuff. You're just like,
Yeah,
oh my goodness, you know?
yeah. And then there's also they came from Valar, and then there's and then there's Valeris and Valera. It's like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
You're just like, oh my goodness. I'm trying to keep track of all of you.
I
I
mean,
was really proud.
how many Roberts are there in just the first season of Game of Thrones?
Yes. I was really proud that in House of the Dragon, I actually managed to keep all the names kind of in track. The only one I had trouble with was the White Worm. I didn't know her. I couldn't remember her actual name because I kept getting it mixed up with like the red woman or whatever her name was.
Yes.
I kept getting their names mixed up because they're similar. Missaria and something.
I don't. What was her name? Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Lots of motorcycles out on Saturdays around here.
How exciting.
That doesn't get annoying at all.
No, it does not. So we are on Numenor now. How?
Yay. Everyone's favorite.
Yes. So we have Farazan and his son. His son's kind of a douchebag. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. And I mean, credit to the actor. That's what they're asking him to do.
Oh yeah, I'm saying the character's a douchebag, not the actor. I don't know anything about the actor.
Oh no. I'm saying he's not likable, and he's not supposed to be. So he's doing what the character is supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I do have that appreciation. Is that as far as the bad guys go in Numenor, they're doing a good job of making me dislike them. I had a very neutral opinion of them basically up until this episode.
I just wish that the Numenorian political scenes were more interesting. Because especially when you compare it to especially the Green Council scenes in House of the Dragon, where it's like those scenes are just beautiful.
Oh, you drink them, but there's so many layers, and it's like you don't. And the more you understand, the more deep and intricate everything is. Like the micro expressions, the way things are said, the camera angles, and the shots that are taken. It is phenomenal in that regard.
I mean, in particular, that one Green Council scene where
Yes.
Aemond dresses Aegon down in High Valyrian was a
Yes.
master class in how to write these political scenes.
Yeah, I didn't need to get told certain things because I remembered from season 1, but also I got all the information I needed in that conversation.
Yes.
That was perfect. I love
Yeah.
that. Whereas with these, it's
the
like,
king
guys,
getting dressed down in his native tongue, and it's clear to everyone there, oh, he doesn't know the language, does he?
yes, it is someone fluent and somebody who is basically on their second semester.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like
it's
they know the
clunky.
basics.
Yeah, they know how to ask for the banyo, okay, but they
Yes.
don't actually know how to hold. You're trying to act. You're having to have small talk on the bus stop. Good luck, buddy. You know, it's
Como
gonna be.
está?
It's essentially like a train with. In my opinion, I visualize it as a train with circular wheels is Aemond, and a train with square wheels is Aegon.
Right.
Like, sure, both trains can move somewhat, you know.
Como se dice English?
Yes. So it's like the fluency and the way that it was done is you didn't even have to understand anything that they said
Right.
for everyone to know exactly what was going on there. It was great. I wish these were just as interesting. I kind of wanted a bit of a soap opera.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I wanted some
no.
tea, juicy
We
tea.
We just get a giant CGI eagle and some really stupid people.
Because, I mean, technically, the situation's very delicate, right?
You'd think so.
You're trying to, like, from, like, the last episodes, like, you're trying to circumvent the queen out of power.
Right.
And that could have been done a numerous amount of ways. It was done very clunky, in my opinion. And the eagle there, in my opinion, the eagle seems like it was there for her, not from him. That's what I got it from. And for some reason, everyone thought it was there for him.
Because he was closer to it, I guess.
Yeah, but like it's supposed to show up for the person's coronation and the approval of it. But it's her coronation, therefore it was for her. And it was just bizarre. It was very bizarre. That's how that
especially
happened.
Since the eagle, especially since the giant eagles are capable of talking in this world. So why doesn't he just like, I am here for the lady?
Yes.
It's like, well, okay.
But we could have spent a lot of time. You know, we spent so much time not focused on the political situation in season 1 that season 2 should have been far more focused on it. And we kind of just skipped a whole bunch of steps, you know? It's all right, get the, you know, I want the crown, you know, I'm going to try to get it. And then you have like a question mark on the next step. And then it's like, now I have the crown. And we kind of just skipped over the fact that we didn't know how to get him to the crown. And how they did it made no sense. So it's frustrating because it could have been something very interesting. Because I do love underhanded political nonsense like that. Just one of the reasons I hated how Littlefinger became so stupid in the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Don't remind me.
He was so brilliant and conniving and like basically hidden in the shadows, and he just tripped over his own feet.
All of the extremely clever and intelligent people in that series just became utter morons in the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
Viserys still crushes me. Like,
yes.
How?
Don't get me started. Also, I'm going to go and say I don't like how small the scepter is. I want it longer.
Oh my.
I think it's short. That's just me. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Right? No, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
it's so small.
It is a small scepter. I will grant you that.
It looks like you'd put it on your trophy case, not that you would hold it when ruling, right?
Right.
Like you won first prize at the
Mhm.
science fair. That doesn't look like you're now ruling an entire country. I want it longer. Like I don't mind the sun on top. That's fine. I think there should have been a jewel in the middle or something. Like
Oh my
some
goodness,
blue.
Ram Bam.
Earth is a size fair. Oh my goodness. But like, the sun, but then I think there should have been, that blue. Okay, so that blue gem that Durin has in his ring, that should have
Mhm.
been in the middle. Something like that should have been in the middle.
Or you can tie it to Fahrazon and Muriel's conversation from the last episode we saw them, where they're talking about white represents the future, and red represents the past, or something like that. And so
he could have had a new one made.
so the scepter, has like the two colors to them. You could do something like that. Have the sun be
Yeah.
white with a red jewel in the middle.
Something you could have done something like that. Yeah, I love the gold and blue. I really like that as like for especially like places near seas. Gold and blue are very like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that color scheme. I kind of wish there was more of it.
And we also know there's a lot more blue dye in the world now.
Yes, Rowan is dead. Therefore, there's a lot more blue dye. She was hoarding it. All right, very rude of her. Okay, she's dead now, and now there's more blue. So
yes,
so I want the scepter to be longer, and I almost wouldn't mind. Like I would like. See, I don't know. It's so plain. I think it should be a little bit more intricate. I think there should be more gems and whatever. I like the sun. I just think there should be something in the middle. I think it should be longer. I do think it would have been a good idea to just say for Sauron to make a new scepter. Right? I think that would be cool to make a new scepter with the red in the middle, So this scepter had like white, and he's just thinking about like how it doesn't really represent him anymore, or maybe it is the white and the red, but the new one has all red to kind of symbolize him a little bit more. And it has Sauron's influence, and now he has double the influence over them. I don't know, something like that. It fits him better as a king. And it's also a gift. Oh, look, it's very beautifully crafted from the elves. Look at this. We gave you a gift. I don't know. What do you think? Josh?
Yeah, you could have done more. I don't really care that much about jewelry either.
No. Well, he's going to give them the rings. And obviously, we're pretty much in agreement. Farazan's getting a ring, right?
I think he will be, yeah.
But I think it would have been like nice to also be like, oh, here's like a scepter or something else, kind of an acknowledgement of his new kingship.
So I actually see his coronation.
Well, I don't know. It's just like
because he kind of usurped Muriel's coronation, which everyone just seems fine with. And I do want to point this out. Muriel has proven to be terrible at her job.
No, I think she played, as far as like for Farazan, she played right into his hands as far as,
well, it helped in being so incredibly stupid.
Yeah, she made a lot of stupid decisions that got her here. She kind of deserved it, but I also don't think that I don't think that the way that she was usurped was good.
No,
but she definitely deserved to be usurped.
Yes.
So I think so. See, here's the problem. something that Sauron hasn't really thought about, I guess, or maybe he has and hasn't told us. How the hell are you going to get him, the Numenorians, just in general, to accept anything any gifts from the elves? These are elvish, crafted, and very obviously, I would imagine, even though we don't really see it, elvish craftsmanship, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So you're asking them to accept gifts from the elves, who they hate. How the hell are you going to go about giving them the rings? How are they going to accept those?
Especially since, as of right now, they don't have a reason to go back to Middle Earth. Yeah.
Well, they don't have any reason, to go back to Middle Earth.
Well,
they don't have any reason.
I mean, there's a Isildur, but they don't know. But they think he's dead. So, yeah. They don't have a reason to go back to Middle Earth right now.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, Sauron, you need to think about that, because because you've been there as Halbrand, that they don't trust the elves.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to figure out a way to convince them to accept gifts. And I think a good way to begin that whole thing is you have the rings done when you get there. Or you just extend this story out a little bit, and you give him some kind of gift or whatever as an acknowledgement, and kind of show that you're like of equal footing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, kind of do like a big show of everything Numenorians would want from the elves. Like, they're more humbled, like they'll, kind of just, oh, look, we're reigniting friendship, and here's an awesome scepter or something, some kind of gift to showcase that, hey, we want to be friends again. And then when the Numenorian shit starts happening to them, then, they can be like, oh, hey, look, we can help you.
But there is an issue with the way they have already done things on this show. They didn't trust Galadriel. I'm sorry, Galadriel.
Yes,
and then
he did not make them. As far as I'm concerned, she did not allow them to trust her.
No,
she wouldn't allow them to.
But they trusted her and sent their forces out to Middle Earth before there was a war going on for them. And then several of their people died. So why would they trust any elf now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's tricky.
Yeah. Unless he turns back into Halbrand, but then that wouldn't work either, because they know he was the leader of the Southlands that they went and their people died for no reason.
Yeah, it's like Farazan also, he can't. I think, like Blindfold actually said that too, because his political take and how he got on this, how he even got elected by the people, is he doesn't like elves. So he really can't even take it. I don't know how they're going to navigate that. Because you would obviously want Numenorians to be on your 9, and Farazan would just...
But again, one of the issues is we have so few human characters on this show. I don't know who's going to be getting any rings.
No, I said, they're probably going to do the same thing with the dwarves that they're doing with the humans. So.
I guess, because Farazan and Muriel, they die with the destruction of Numenor.
I mean, yes, there's very, very few Numenorians left.
Right.
After the destruction of Numenor. So, they saw there were things going on. It should be wiped out. So even if people died, it was for a good cause. Not sure why they'd be against Galadriel for that. Galadriel, I think, took offense to them not liking her, but she should have known why they don't like her, because she's been alive the whole time. It was kind of confusing on that front. she was very, very argumentative, and she didn't humble herself like you would like when you're on the footsteps of a different
It's like
kingdom.
they saved her out from being out in the middle of the ocean, and she showed almost no gratitude for that.
Yeah, she was pretty disrespectful and kind of, sort of. Didn't she tell the queen she was going to kill her?
I don't remember that.
Am I thinking of? No, I'm thinking of the guard, not the queen.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the captain. Yeah, Alendir, I think is his name. Yeah, he, which is a trusted advisor of the queen. I don't know. She just did not endear herself to the Númenóreans, but the Númenóreans also did not want to endear themselves to Galadriel, and so it made the whole thing go into war, and then that blowing back in the face, kind of a whole shit show, which is one of the reasons why Pharazôn's currently in power, is because of that whole shit show. Actually, I would go ahead and say that is the reason why Pharazôn is in power.
Yeah.
Because
if she had just sent, like, okay, here's a boat, you're going back to Middle Earth, and our people are coming right back, Muriel would still be in power. She'd still have her sight too. There's that.
Actually, if she would have just kicked Galadriel out, I don't think Pharazôn would be in power.
No, absolutely not.
So Númenóreans have every right to hate the elves, because if you start following that line of reasoning, there's no reason they would ever trust them again. So I don't know. I really don't know. The only way you could get around it, no, you can't really get around it, because you have to, because of the elf hatred is really a giant wall of a barrier.
That did exist in the book. The Númenóreans did not trust the elves.
No, there's reason for that. They thought they got screwed over, right?
Oh yeah. But also, and Light Blinded Fool, yes. Galadriel being the young, arrogant hotshot is the single biggest problem with this entire show.
No, I like her being the tactician, in the back, kind of the tactical, incredibly smart person, in the back, that has seen a lot of shit, because she really has, before season 1 even starts. Technically, she's seen a whole lot of shit. The incredible smart tactician that's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, instead of the young hotshot. I would have preferred that. But then again, I like the intellectual side a lot better. Yes. Racing in all, hot-headed.
Yeah, because even if you just look at the Peter Jackson films, Galadriel never has a single action moment, and that's fine. She's way more interesting as a character.
Nah, she is way more. She is just she's the quiet person in the back of the room watching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I relate to that. So, Galadriel was probably one of the worst people that could have gone to Númenor for their first look at an elf in a while.
Yeah.
I would, as far as ambassadors go, as not that she had a choice in that matter as far as how things ended up, but I probably would have sent anybody else before I would have sent her. But
maybe don't have your main ambassador be someone who has openly endorsed Hitler,
Yeah. Let's see. I have no idea how Pharazôn is going to how Pharazôn will get a ring, because I almost have to assume he will. I don't know why he wouldn't get a ring. But at the same time, if he's supposed to die,
maybe
then,
his son will get one.
that would almost make more sense.
It would, because Fierazon died with Numenor.
Yeah,
But I
that's what you
think
told
his
me.
son is a made-up character.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do we have names for all the kings that became ring wraiths?
I actually don't know.
I think the head one we did have a name, but I don't know about the other 8. I don't know that. I'm not that deep in the Tolkien lore. I don't mind Galadriel kicking Orpa, but I think she'd be more wise and use her experience in the many years for the political playing board. Yes, I agree with that. I don't mind her doing just a little bit, right? Because she is way older, like in the in the Third Age. So I don't mind just like a little bit. I do mind that that's her entire character, and she's not like an advisor or somebody that would be like completely like I would imagine Elrond would be more of the hotshot warrior. They almost they're reversed. Their roles need to be reversed, don't they? Would you say that would be better if their roles were reversed? The writing needs to be better, obviously, but Elrond and Galadriel, because Galadriel would be more the politician at this point in her life, and Elrond would be more the hotshot warrior.
Yes. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Okay, because I know you've told me this before. Elrond is a warrior elf. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, he literally.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Did you find the names of them? Do you want me to continue with this? Because we do have quite a bit left. We just got stuck on the Fairzone thing and the stupid like sunlight thing with the door.
Yeah, let's just skip it.
Okay.
It looks like one of them is named, but I'm not seeing anything else.
Well, if they're not named, then they're up for grabs for being made up. So I can't blame Amazon for that.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Verzarn is a huge hit as far as Numenorians are considered.
Yep.
So Muriel's kind of just hidden away in her tower at this point because honestly, I don't know what else she would be doing. There's really nothing else she can do at this point. Not that I can see, at least.
And if I...
And if what? Josh, you cut out. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, Josh died. No. All right. Well, I'm going to continue on. So Muriel and Elendil are they're talking because shit has not gone the way that yeah. I kind of almost feel bad for Muriel, but she did do a big dub in season 1, and you really can't blame the people for revolting against her, even though I know she's supposed to represent the good portion of the Numenorians, which, yeah, I mean, you do need to forgive them. Interwebs crash, be right back. It's okay. It's all right. Hello. Oh.
That was fun.
You're fine. I was talking about the Elendil and Muriel scene because Muriel's kind of stuck. She doesn't. I don't know what she's supposed to do. She doesn't really know what she's supposed to do. And I know she's supposed to represent like the good portion of the Numenorians because technically speaking, making an enemy of the elves, I believe, is what ends up eventually leading to their downfall.
Essentially, yes.
And their arrogance and complete hubris of that, yes. But the people who are friends of the elves are not punished as much, I don't think. Although if you're there when the giant tsunami hits, rip to you, regardless.
Pretty much.
Mother Nature does not care what your political stance is. So
yeah, and there's also the Silmarillion also mentions nothing about Muriel being blind. That's a complete made up thing. I think they just wanted the blind seer trope.
Yeah, I mean that's a classic. But it also just makes me go, I don't know what she can do. She doesn't have the Palantir. She doesn't have anything. She's kind of just stuck in a tower, like Rapunzel, honestly. She has no powers for the most part, or at least not enough people to back her up. I mean, she's kind of just stuck. And I almost feel bad. Except I can't because she did. It was a really stupid thing she did in season 1.
Yes.
And, I just...
Especially when you're the regent, because the king is ill, so you shouldn't be anywhere near the front lines.
Yeah, and especially since you have no children. There's no heirs. So
yeah,
as far as your lineage goes, you're the last one. I would not have allowed her to go. If I was the captain, I would not have allowed her to go anywhere near the front lines. Okay?
I would have allowed her to leave the island.
Well, the only reason it works like with like Rohan is because it was like the last stand trope.
Yeah. Like it was Rohan's a different story because if we don't honor our obligation, everything's done.
Yes.
Plus, he already lost his heir. So
true. He does have like the cousins though.
Yes.
The two cousins which he can marry.
But his direct line's over anyway. So
yes, but he has an indirect line. So that's fine. It's just Muriel should have been way more mindful of it. I know she was trying to literally lead her people. I get it. I understand. You don't want to be on the sidelines, especially since she's a woman. She didn't want to be on the sideline. I get it, but you're more than just like you have to understand your
role. You're the
role
queen.
You are the king. You're the queen of the people.
Yes.
You have to serve the people, and honestly, leading the battle is not serving them.
No.
No, it actually led Farazan he basically left him essentially like to get a hold onto everybody, which he does. The majority of people are now on his side. And I
can't blame him either. That's the thing.
No. And he was proven right when they came back. Can you imagine if they came back and they were victorious?
If they were completely victorious, nothing happened. Mount Doom didn't, get a cold shower and explode.
Yeah, Farazan did exactly what he should have done, and it was successful. And then
it's like I can't blame him.
No, that's correct. Yes. But Elendil is very much loyal to the queen. I'm trying to figure out.
I've seen people shipping them.
Okay, see, this is funny because I was like, I'm trying to figure out whether or not they're trying to have a romance thing here.
There's people. The Twitters is shipping them now.
No, I know. I have upon many a time been among shipping communities for different fandoms. I am aware of what constitutes the beginning of a ship. Believe me.
Yay.
So But I think Elendil did have the Palantir, and apparently in his vision, he saw that he was kind of wandering on horseback from city to city. It seemed like almost aimlessly, um, but we don't know what that means. I really have no idea what that could possibly mean. Muriel's trying to say that, hey, Arizon's kingship has changed things potentially. I've only ever gotten the giant tsunami wave when I've touched the Palantir, and it's different now when you touch it. So she was, it's like, oh, hey, I didn't know there was. I've been replaying the same level over and over again. But yeah.
Oh my god. All right.
But
I just looked up Elendil. Apparently, according to the wiki, his wife was never named. So it could be Muriel.
Well, no. Actually, to be perfectly honest with you, she's already been talked about. She's the one that drowned, remember, from season 1?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He had a previous wife, and that definitely wasn't Muriel. I'm talking about now. They could have one. I don't think... See, here's the thing, Josh. I don't know if you know this, but it's really hard to hide a woman pregnant than a man who has gotten a woman pregnant. He doesn't,
Yeah, this is fair.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like because she's the queen, you would know if she was pregnant. I feel like that. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Holy crap! The wiki lists Elendil's height as 7'11".
Oh my god, he's a big boy.
Like, okay, yeah, that's the Numenorian blood they're coming through.
Oh yeah, you make a hell of a basketball player.
Yeah. Anyway,
we then cut to Elendil is going. Elendil is headed down to the ships where he likes to be and is in charge of, and he's seeing people are basically clearing their stuff out of their cubicles. And
the sea is always right.
The sea is always right, and he's like, "What the hell's happening here?" And it's like basically that anyone who has disagreed with the king or was allied with the queen is basically getting peak
They're
flipped.
they're getting their walking papers.
Yep, they're clearing out their cubicles. They're or their barracks, yes, in this case.
Yeah.
And sending them on their way. Which I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know how big the population of Numenor is. It seems rather small from what I have seen of the amount of people that are just generally around at any given time. Can you really afford to have people who have been training for this for years to get fired just because they don't, aren't on the same page with you necessarily? Because, I mean, they're supposed to obey the person who's in charge, regardless. Yes. They're the military, essentially. They don't...
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's in charge; they have to obey because they're commander in chief, so to speak.
Yeah, if you're in the army, when there's a new president, they don't fire every single person who signed up in the army when the previous person was in the office, and then hire new people
or voted for the other person. That's bizarre.
They don't do that.
Farazan, that's dumb. Okay, you've been relatively intelligent, as this show will permit you to be. Up until this point, I think this is stupid. You have very well-trained men that can fight, that are already trained, and there's been a change in leadership, and that's it. By the way, getting them away from their position doesn't mean that they're still not going to try to do something about you if that's what you're worried about. They can still talk in pubs and like go to each other's houses and talk, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. The phrase, I didn't vote for you, sir, but I died for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Farazan L. This is a giant Farazan L. I do not like this. Is a dumb Farazan. Okay, I do not agree with this.
Oh wait,
Um,
did you also go over Farazan just telling his son how useless he is?
No, I did not. I kind of skipped over that. How he was just like,
That's
hey,
important. It actually is important to the episode.
That is fair. That is fair. Yes. I thought we all assumed he was useless because he is. So technically speaking, Farazan has said, okay, hey, you're useless and you're stupid and you're gonna do what I tell you to do, or I'll find some other use for you. Essentially.
Well, he tells him, your dead mom foresaw that you would come to a bad end.
Oh
well,
shit! I forgot he said that. Yes.
Prove her wrong.
But hey, did she say more? Like where and when? Was it that was there a sign nearby? You know, is there a street I need to
prove that you're useful, and I'll tell you more details about
yes.
about your death.
My brain forgot the rest of the context. I just remembered him saying, "Hey, you're useless, and if you don't do what I say, you need, I will make use of you somewhere else," basically implying some horrible thing will happen to him. Which I wouldn't have advised for parenting Farazan. That was a bad call.
He went to the Allison School of Parenting.
Yes. Don't go there. It's a very bad place. So here's a really silly thing. So Isildur's sister, who I thought was going to go basically to the Middle Earth version of Harvard. It kind of sounded like she got accepted, she got her scholarship, her financial aid, she's good, and she can go fuck off and go be smart and like a scholar. Like that was her kind of thing in season 1, and I was like, okay, go girl, go get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of annoying, but that's fine. You're the little sister.
The never before mentioned younger sister.
Yes, little sister archetype, annoying. Yeah, generally speaking. So I kind of thought that's where she was going, and so
she's got huge tracts of land. So yeah.
Yes, imagine my surprise when she's all of a sudden in charge of the ships
for some reason.
She doesn't have any experience in. She has no idea even where to begin on that.
It's like, I thought, wasn't she going for like an engineering degree or something?
Yeah, she was gonna go get an engineering degree from Middle Earth Harvard. Okay.
Yeah.
I literally thought that's what they were doing. I was like, okay. And I've kind of just been waiting for her to go because I thought that was gonna be a plot point this season, and it's not. She's been sad about her brother's death, which fair
enough.
Mad that her dad didn't try harder, which okay, that's grief coming out, anger, that's perfectly natural. And now all of a sudden she's siding with the opposing political party that kind of wants her dad to fuck off and die.
Just because she now has daddy issues.
She now all of a sudden has developed like a decade or two of daddy issues and doesn't trust
when we saw in season 1, he was a caring father.
He was totally supportive. I was just like, yeah, go get it. Like 1000%. And I kind of applauded him. I was like, look, a good dad, kind of. But like she has a line here where it says, how dare you reduce my grief to petty ambition? And I'm like, you kind of did that to yourself because why else are you here?
Mm-hmm.
You got a scholarship to Harvard, basically. Go get that degree. Go help better this, Or get the degree and come back here.
Yeah.
And better
We need
Numenor.
more women in STEM. So yeah.
Yeah, go get your STEM degree. I don't even understand what we're doing here. And now she's in charge of her father's trade.
Yeah.
I
For
don't
some
think she's the
reason.
captain. Her douchebag friend, Farazan's son, I think is the captain now.
I forget his name. He's Punch Face.
I don't know. I just call him Farazan's son.
Yeah.
Because if I don't think of him like that, I forget he's Farazan's son. Kimin or something like that? Is it Kimin?
Maybe.
Something like that. But she just like hates her dad. He's like, oh, my brother is dead because Muriel peeped into an elf stone. It's like, first of all, no.
Yeah.
No. If you want to blame Muriel, and it's fine if you want to blame your dad. Those two things are fine given
I can accept those.
Your grief process, that makes it acceptable. Muriel, it's even fine that you want to be angry at elves. So it's not that I necessarily disagree with the fact that Fair is on side, given your current circumstances. Like, I understand that, right? I don't understand why you now have your father's job. Or at least, like, half of it. Because I'm not sure quite yet what her job is. Because I know he was, like, the captain in, like, Shipwright, I think, and whatnot. Kimin, I don't know what his name was. It starts with a K, and I thought it was Kimin, and I probably fucked it up. But it's like, no, I don't think the Palantir, I wouldn't blame the Palantir. I would blame Muriel for going there. I would blame your dad for allowing her brother to go. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is you didn't try hard enough to find him, because technically he's missing in action. He's MIA. They're assuming he's dead, but he's MIA because there's no body.
I mean, well, I mean, he was right next to a volcanic explosion. I mean, no one survives those. Oh, wait.
So was everybody else that lived, okay? Except for the red shirts.
Everyone should have died from that.
Dude, they were way too close. They should have put it back way far away. They were way too close to have lived through that. Everyone should have died.
That's why Waldred was my favorite character from season 1.
That's crazy.
He almost killed everybody. Like, yes, go.
Well, it's so hilarious. It's like, if the didn't kill them, which from what I saw definitely should have, just based off of what I was given visually. The ash that they were inhaling in their lungs after that, 1000% should have killed the rest of them.
Yeah.
Hi, Penny.
Hi, Penny.
So I'm so it's fine to be mad with Muriel and Isildur. Those are fine because there's actual like reasons based on what we saw. But I don't think that the Elfstone Palantir, whatever you want to call it, I feel like you have your anger and grief has been twisted because that doesn't add up. Because there were other things that happened. In fact, the Palantir actually had pretty much nothing to do with her decision.
Yeah, especially since the Palantir's original purpose was just communicating through long distances.
Yeah,
and it wasn't basically until you know they got corrupted by Sauron, which is why all the Palantirs were then kind of like an evil thing because Sauron could listen in on you.
He bugged the calls. Boo.
Essentially, yeah.
And then he put malware in it. Boo. But yeah, she, I don't know. Her reaction is weird. and a lot. Like the grief is fine, the anger is fine, but then like there's other things she's taking that I don't understand. Like this one.
Yeah,
She should just go off to college.
but no,
Or she should forego college.
She had
grab
to
a
take.
boat.
She had to take a job as like the junior assistant master of ships.
Yeah, honestly, it would have made more sense if she would have just.
She's padding out her resume, Eris.
Okay, that's fine. But what she should have done is, because of all this, she should have just, I don't know, she take a boat, take one of the little dinghy things that we see, and just go.
Uh-huh.
Or take a horse and go. Like instead of going to her job, her education. That she actually goes to Middle Earth and something. She goes to Middle Earth and tries to look for her brother. That would have made more sense, you know.
I mean, I'm fine with her being, angry. I'm fine with her being, sad at things. That makes sense to me. But
But taking this job makes no sense to me.
No, it does not. It's like, okay, I'm angry at the queen, so let me help overthrow her because I blame her for my brother's death.
Yeah. What's even more bizarre is she tells her dad, "Farazan is our king. Expect it, father. I beg of you." And I'm sitting here like, do you like? He was just going down to clock in. I thought he was just going down to like for his shift. I didn't think it was anything of it, And all of a sudden he's come down. He's been removed from his position. Other people have been removed from theirs, and his
with
daughter
and her talking down to him the way she does. It's like I wanted him to smack her. And I still maintain she looks different. She looks different than she did in season 1.
It's the same actress, but she looks so different. It's weird how different she looks. She doesn't look like the same person. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened to her. I'm just like, are you okay? Are you all right? Is this show like kryptonite to you? Is it like slowly killing you? Because you can please, like, I don't want anyone to die because of this show. Like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, Brawin died.
Yeah, but
off screen.
I really didn't know where they were taking her character after that.
No. So yeah, she's just become completely insufferable, and I don't know why they're doing that to her.
I don't either. But he, let's see, what's his name? Ellendale. I keep forgetting. Ellendale. Oh, his name is Kemen.
You did it.
Name is Kemen. It's okay, nice. I remembered a character's name. I'm impressed.
Go team.
Yeah, go team. We did. But Ellendale apparently part of like him relinquishing or getting fired is him turning in his sword.
Apparently.
Coming up. Like.
Yeah.
I guess. I thought he was
turn in your badge, Ellendale. You're a loose cannon.
Yeah. And yeah, Verzon's son, who was kind of like a nothing burger in season 1, has become a total douche canoe in season 2. Particularly in this episode, he really starts coming out.
I mean, at least they've given him a character.
He has, because I didn't even know. I knew his face. I just knew him as Isildur's sister's friend. That's all I
Yeah.
really knew him as. I now know more about him, so I guess that is good on you, show.
You thought
So.
that maybe your show that has all these characters should have some characters.
Excellent. I do like
Yes.
that. As he's leaving, the people who are getting the ship people who are getting fired are like kind of give him a salute, and the dish canoe says, "Oh, he's no guy, he's captain now." Blah blah blah. And he ends up pettily, you know.
It's
Hold
like
on. We're lingering. We're lingering. Hold on. There's
Oh,
a
no.
giant pause in here. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they just start
He's
like.
looking.
Well, I mean, they start, chanting, Captain off deck or something like that, saluting
Yeah.
him, and
He has to say no. I'm not. the
Kevin just can't let it go. It's like
no.
if you just let it go, none of this happens.
Yeah, Kevin, the dish canoe, Farazan's son, that person. He's just, it's just like, hey, yeah, well, just let me have a little moment. And he's like, no, he's nobody's captain now. And, Elendil has to be like, hey, I'm actually not, like, literally, like, I understand, that was sweet of y'all to do that, but, like, literally, my title has been stripped. I'm actually nobody's captain now. By definition.
He's Elendil is basically I will be the bigger man and like try to de-escalate this.
Yeah,
which is something he does not do later. We'll get to that.
Yes, I mean Elendil. He tried, but didn't really succeed later. And nobody can let anything go because everyone is fucking petty, and it's like blah blah blah, captain, and they keep calling him captain, and Kevin cannot let shit go, and Lindell just has to leave in order for shit to stop.
It's like, you know what? I'm out. This doesn't pertain to me anymore.
It's funny because I thought that was the end of the scene, and I forgot about this next scene. So, Isildur's sister, God, what's her name? Arion.
Made up for the show.
So Arion is like
Arion, who may or may not have a coke issue, which might explain the different looks.
Could be Ozempic. We don't know.
Just saying. I'm not accusing anything. I'm just putting something out there.
Yeah. So Arion, who I thought was kind of schmoozing it with Kevin. I thought they were kind of a thing. So they were either kind of a thing or he was the gay best friend. Those were the two options in my mind. I guess they were kind of, it seemed like a thing, or at least he thought they were a thing. Because one of the two friends,
I got that he was in the friend zone and he's trying to get out.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Option 3, he was friend zoned. Fair enough. I'll agree with that. That's friend zone.
And there's no getting out of that. Just saying.
No. Arion, she starts going at the other friend of Isildur's who isn't dead, who's alive. She starts kind of touching on him
now.
And talking to him, and it's just like, hey, would you would you kind of being a little bit friendlier with him than she had in the past, and Douche Canoe is watching him, kind of super hates it. Yeah. So, but he's kind of like, well,
because the girl that you're interested in, who's not paying any attention to you, is just talking to another guy. So, like, nope, clearly he's a rival.
Yes, obviously.
And then
he doesn't say it,
but then he whispered. Actually, it's very subtle, but he does carefully whisper, "Watch your back, my friend."
Oh my god.
That's the writing level of this show. Would you have been surprised if he had said that?
Something like that. But we see Farazan is about to look into the Palantir. Ironic, hilarious. But we don't actually see what he's looking, what he sees. But because we are thrown back into Calibrimbo. Whoa! Or no, we're not,
Joy.
because actually, plot twist. Gilgalad is reading Calibrimbo's letter, where he said, "Oh hey, I've stopped firing." The workshop is empty. The forge is dark.
Mm-hmm.
And as Gilgalad's reading this letter, they cut the footage of Celebrimbor. They're making shit, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
is that also the scene where there's that elf commander also telling him, "Oh, we need to attack. We need to send an army because the orcs are heading towards Aragion."
Oh, it continues on. This is the following scene to that. Galadriel was wrong. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Gilgalad sees Sauron and dead fish, and a bunch of fire.
Yep.
And the leader, the military commander, is like, "Hey, like Mordor is our enemy," and yeah, maybe we should.
Just once, I want someone to go, "The Southlands is our enemy." Mordor. God, I can't keep the names straight anymore.
Yes,
Because it was the Southlands like a week ago.
Yes, we cut for some reason to Elrond. Elrond's running with his, I think, the other elf people, and then we cut to Disa trimming a leaf off of the tree that they have down there, and I'm just kind of like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Oh. Disa is kind of annoyed because the king can basically see into the rock better than she can, and is like, kind of like,
He's taking her
"Hey."
job and doing it better.
Yeah, he is. He's like, "I thought
I
that
don't
was
like all
so-"
the automation going on.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't blame Disa. She's like, "Hey, I had this really vital and sacred, like almost religious role, and then we had someone come in with some bling and like not only did my job, but did it like way better. And I kind of feel useless now."
But I don't understand how that suddenly equates to Disa now thinking the rings are themselves evil.
Well, I think she just wants her job back.
Yeah, but she's like clearly. She flat out says later that they're evil because she makes Prince Durin promise not to ever put one on.
I think it's just one of those women. Not to defend this show, but I really think it's just like I don't like this feeling. It's like
Woman's intuition type thing.
Woman's intuition type thing, honestly, because that's what I kind of got.
Okay.
Like in this scene, it was like, "Hey, I kind of want my job back. I feel like I have been. I kind of feel useless now because this was something actually like really important and revered by everyone, and now I don't have it." It's basically like getting kicked out of being a nun, I would imagine, almost. Like this is kind of sacred, good duty, and now it's like I've been replaced with something like way better. And I don't like that. That kind of sucks because we had like this special bond with the rock, and he typed in the cheat code, and just Yeah, he put on that Uber secret rare.
He put the game on journalist mode.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, he got the 1 in 1 million drop item, okay? and basically like super, and I don't like that. He needs to take it off. So I kind of think it was more aimed at that. It's like I want to feel needed again and like validated. But then I started slowly becomes more and more just like, okay, so he's like not acting like himself, and it's weird. And it's kind of been since he put on that ring, and I'm getting a bad feeling of this. Like, I kind of think it's more towards that. There's not concreteness behind it. And, again, don't want to defend the
Can
show.
they make concrete?
From it? Sorry, what?
Can they make concrete?
Can they make concrete? That's a good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, because you said they needed a concrete answer, so it got me thinking, like, wait, can they make concrete?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
the wisdom of the dwarves.
Apparently, oh my goodness! But guess what? Durin has done a bad. Do you want to know what King Durin did? He implemented a sales tax. What a bad person. Sales tax. So this is like the most like. This is the stupidest sales tax I've ever heard. Every penny spent.
That's a steep tax. That's a steep tax.
That's like 100% tax, right?
Yeah.
Or in order just to make back what you have to be basically you have to match exactly. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So everything doubles in price, but you get half of it. I guess that would be a 50% tax then. But the only reason why it's a 50% tax is because they're getting 1 for 1. So I don't know. It's an insane tax, whatever that is.
Yeah. Taxation is theft. I'll just say it.
Oh my god. So, and he's calling it a ring tribute. It's like, asshole.
I laughed out loud at that. It's like, are you serious?
What? You didn't even make it. What the hell happened? No. Oh, you're all reaping benefits from me doing this. I'm like, yeah, the elves did. So is this money going to the elves?
And the way they're showing Durin just so quickly being corrupted by the dwarven rings, which had a less effect on the dwarves than it did man. It's like they didn't become like race or anything, but they're showing it like having like the same like corrupting power, and Durin's gonna call it my precious.
Yeah.
Like he's
that's where the creators of the show would be.
That's what they're gonna have him do.
Yeah, I know.
Or maybe not my precious, but he'll say something like, "It has become very precious to me," or something, and then like look at the camera.
Yeah.
And they will do something that retarded.
They would. But now we go to the Disa scene where she drops the ball.
She buys like a did she call it like a tuning crystal or something? And it's a ball. Like, how does that tune whatever?
Yeah. But I do have to say I like the lanterns. I'm a sucker for like a cool looking lantern. I like the lanterns the dwarves use. It's cool. I do have to say though, it's kind of a shit as far as like light put out. They're cool, but just not very good for light sources.
Yeah.
And she sings. Lisa finds like this little lake. Is that the lake in Fellowship?
It shouldn't be.
That's what I thought it was, but I was like, there's no way.
Because it's so far under the ground of Khazad-dûm, there's no way it should be the lake in front of Khazad-dûm.
I know. That's why I was confused. It looks like it, right? It kind of looks like the lake, but it wasn't. But then I thought, oh, maybe it's that lake that you see in The Hobbit, the Hobbit movies, where Gollum's at. But then I was like, no, that's where goblins are, right? But where the goblins, like I tried to figure out, I was like, this kind of looks similar to a couple lakes I've seen in Lord of the Rings, but it can't be it. So I was just curious about that.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay, so this is just a weird little place.
That apparently has like stairs all the way down it, and no one's been there before.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
So she gets her little ball thing back, and she's coming back, and then she hears a creature, which we all know is a Balrog. The Balrog did not like Disa singing, because he's a racist.
I mean, I'm not a fan of when they do the singing scenes either.
I'm not, but she has a good voice, so I'll give her that.
She does. I just think it's kind of stupid.
I think it's like I can almost understand it, but I think it would do better in a different fantasy show.
Yeah.
The whole singing for the rocks. Like, I don't mind the idea of it. I just don't know if it belongs here. But also, I would like to take Disa out and for her to go do fantasy shows somewhere else because she's better than the show. Honestly,
Yes.
she go somewhere else where it's good, Disa. I think she's my favorite character. So, let's see. Yeah, she hears about Balrog, and quite frankly, I would also be pooping my pants like Disa looked like she was doing if I heard a Balrog. If I just started singing, like I was humming or singing or something, and some Balrog bellowed at me, I'd be like, okay. That's concerning,
But no one else heard this thing?
No, I don't know how far down those stairs went. I don't really know where we were in that. So that's kind of just a weird place. That's why I called it the weird place, because I didn't know where it was. I didn't know what we were doing with it. I didn't quite understand it.
Yeah. But that crystal ball is clearly very, very durable because it rolled and bounced downstairs an incredibly long way. So that thing is tough.
Yes.
Until Disa drops it, and then it just shatters.
Yeah, shit ball. I would not have paid $150 for that thing.
No.
No. So we're sitting we're at King Durin. King Durin's it looks like his dinner table.
Yeah.
Or like a council area or something. And he's meeting with the he's meeting with like the secretaries of the other dwarf kingdom lord, which I'm sorry, I would have been offended. You can't come here yourself, asshole.
I mean, he called a council of the 7 dwarven kingdoms, and then it's like none of the other kings showed up. It's like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. He had one of them like reach for the ring, and he's like, yeah, no, these are for your masters. I thought those were the lords, and until he said that, and I was like, oh, that's a douchey move, lords. What are you doing?
I mean, I could understand if they sent letters and going, hey, we're in the middle of our harvest right now, so shut it.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we can get there. But for them to just go, I'll just send my secretary.
Yeah, all their secretaries got here. So it's like, okay. Well, that's odd. But it's like, go back and tell them each of your realms of bounty, but it comes with a price. We learn this later. I'll just go ahead and say it now. That apparently the price is for every dwarven lord that accepts a ring, they have to share, half their mind's profits.
Yeah. That's a terrible deal.
Nobody was
It's like-
taking that deal. I don't know what this elvish magic bullshit ring that I don't know anything about, nor did I want or ask for. You want me to give you half? That's stupid. My
It's
whole
like,
kingdom's supposed to live on 50% of their
My-
income. No.
My kingdom did not get affected by Mount Doom, so why should I listen to you?
Yeah, I don't need these. Like what? Why the hell would I want the? Why would I need? I don't need these. This is dumb.
Mark, those are lies, and I shall
No.
contact my lawyer for defamation.
Yes.
That is
Well,
those are horrible lies, and I have suffered great damages because clearly I haven't gotten paid from watching this show because of your horrible lies, Mark.
myth. What? Guess what? Are you excited? Be excited because guess what? We're still with the dwarves! Yay! Oh, we have to go back at King Durin. King Durin is with I think it's his like head his head minor. Is it his head? What's it? He's like the guy, I think it's the guy for digging and whatnot.
It's his master of dirt.
Right. Okay. There we go. I don't know what the actual.
That's his official title. His master
sure.
of dirt.
Master of dirt. I don't know if you're joking or not, but we're rolling with it anyway. So they're going over these, like the profit, the rules and whatnot, and King Durin's like, "Hey, what idiot put a limit on how far we can dig?" And the other guy, his name's Narvi. There we go. And Narvi says, "You did, sir." And he's like, "Well, dumb. Get rid of that." And that happened decades ago, by the way, because we didn't want to make it unstable and whatever. Delve Master. That's the title. Delve Master.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then he
Master
starts freaking out.
Master of Dirt is funnier.
It is funnier. So his Master of Dirt is like, "Hey, your ring's over there." And he's like, "No, you definitely took it and stole it, and you have it. I'm going to kill you." And he's like, no. Like, literally, it's over there.
It's right there.
You took it off. It's right. It's the only thing in this entire room. It's right there.
You took it. He even says, "You took it off. You said it was getting heavy."
Yes.
It's like, oh. All right.
Yeah. Yep. So they've decided they're going to dig deeper. Okie dokie. And of course, Prince Durin comes in and just like, "Hey, there's some bullshit happening over in the mines." He's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna dig down there." He's like, "But no."
We've dug too greedily and too deep, Father. I'm waiting for him to say that.
Hey, you know what you need to do? You need to shut up and take your prince crown.
Necklace, yeah.
Neck crown. Yes, and he does.
Crown.
And he comes back. Whatever. It's a crown around his neck. It's a neck crown. Well, he comes back to Disa, and Disa's like, "Oh, fuck. He bribed you, didn't he?" And he's like, "No, like I literally told him he wouldn't listen. And he just gave this to me." Yeah. I told him.
Like, no.
I told him. I wouldn't listen to me, and he just threw this at me. I don't know what I was supposed to do. So I definitely didn't fail. Well, Celebrimbor is kind of he's just been standing around as they've been making the 9 rings, proving further how dumb he is. He's just standing around while they're making these corrupt ass things.
Yeah.
And then what the shit is happening? Fucking weird. It's just like, telekinetic bullshit's happening. And I honestly do not understand anything about this scene that happens. I don't know why the tools are dancing. I don't know why shit's going weird. I have no idea what's going on.
So apparently they're testing the ring's ability to make someone invisible, because that's what the One Ring can do to people.
Oh, is that what happened? Because I've watched this scene twice now, and I did not understand that at all. That's hilarious.
Yes, because it's the elf girl.
Oh, and I'm a moron. Apparently, I blinked at the precise wrong moment when I was watching it today. I did not see him take the ring off, and she became visible. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. It's just all of a sudden he was holding the hammer and had the ring, and she was there, and I was just like, okay. Like, my brain did not piece together. That's so funny. Okay. Because I was so confused. I did not understand she was invisible doing that. I was so confused the whole time. Okay. All right. That makes way more sense. All right, show. I'll give you that. That confused the shit out of me.
And that is correct, Mark.
But yeah, she was just like, holy shit, I was high on mithril. Yeah, they gave me a
She had a bad mithril trip.
She did. And she had a higher dose. She thought she was ready. She was not ready. And then she starts talking utter nonsense. She's like, I thought the forge was burning, but it was actually like a person on fire. And I started laughing because I thought they were talking about the Ice Sauron.
And this was probably the worst performed scene in this entire show. Yeah, she was awful. I did not get any sense. There was no sense at all that this is someone who was traumatized because they got hellish visions.
Like, sweetheart. Like, at least Celebrimbor. Like, we call his character stupid, but the actor actually showed up and gave a shit, it looked like. Okay.
Yes.
Like, holy shit.
Celebrimbor's actor is doing what he's being asked to do.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's with most of them. Yes. I don't think I have really that much of an issue with anybody. I can't think of anyone that I have that much of an issue with. There's a couple of them where I was just like, you were not right for this role. And the Elf Apprentice is one of them. Like, oh, yes. Sweetheart. And we kind of figure out why they hired this particular person later. She kind of looks like a certain somebody, kind of, sort of.
If you squint.
But, I feel like you could have done that with any number of people. Just saying. Slap a blonde wig on them, you know?
Young, attractive blonde women. Where can you ever find those in Hollywood?
I know, shocking. Oh, yeah, I have no idea, Josh. Quite frankly, I have no idea. They're rare, you know. So, Sauron's just like, hey, well, if you would just, like, tell us what to do. Because, obviously, it's just, if you would have just done and then stopped. He's like, well, just tell us. Just tell us what we need to do. Because, like, if we don't, then all this stuff is going to continue happening. And we're going to be floundering around and somebody might get hurt. Celebrimbor, save us. You're our only hope.
Can't you? What wisdom could you possibly bestow on us just this once to get us on the right track, sir?
We'll never, ever mention it again. You'll never have anything to do with this. We promise. And it's just like, so funny.
It's like, remember the earlier scene when he flat out says to Sauron, oh, you manipulate people. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. And it kind of just lets people walk all over him. But apparently Prince Durin's now here. Wow, that was quick. I have no idea what time it is.
Yeah, just here now. It's like, okay.
He's just here now. All right, cool. I honestly, it has to be like a 2-hour walk. I just don't understand. Like, But yeah, Sauron's just like, hey, I'll go talk to him. And Celebrimbor's like, no, I'll go talk to him. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And that's when Durin starts going, hey, there's some sussy shit happening.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, is there? So there's something wrong with the rings. It's corrupted my father. Is there something wrong with them? So he's now getting confirmation that the rings are capable of corrupting people. He now has confirmation about this.
Yes. He should unironically be shutting down the forge, like, right now.
Yes.
We're like 1000%. He's like, okay, well, that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
And
it was like,
hey.
and then it's like, is there something wrong with the rings? He's like, no, we did the exact same process. We even used the same tools.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Oh.
No, let me save that.
Okay.
For a second.
Okay. All right.
He does say something when Durin and Celebrimbor are talking. He does say something really funny, which is like, hey, how much do you really know about this Anatar? Or Anatir, whatever his pronunciation is. And I'm just sitting here like, he knows pretty much nothing other than he lied who he was before. So the only thing he really knows about him for sure is that he's a liar.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was particularly funny. Sauron is, I'm going to say grooming the elf apprentice. That's kind of what he's doing. He's like, oh, hey, Celebrimbor's been kind of sus. I know I've known him for 2 weeks, technically, as far as you're aware, but he's sus, and, I'm trying to protect him because he's kind of started, it's his fault things are starting to get weird and deceptive. It's totally Celebrimbor's fault.
And also, I also understand what you've seen because I've also seen that realm before. Like, why doesn't that tip her off at all?
Because she wants to bone him, okay? She's got those rose-tinted glasses on. She wants to bone him.
She can save him.
She can change him, okay? Look, he's... I can't say handsome. He is...
You'll do.
He's a passable elf. A passable looking elf. And Sauron does a creepy thing. He's like, how strange. When the light caught your hair. For a moment, you seemed her perfect likeness, which is exactly what everyone wants to hear when they're having an intimate moment with a guy. You look like a different woman. Just like, damn, that was mean.
When the light hits you just right, you look like a hot chick. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. He's like, oh, whose likeness? He's like, obviously, Lady Galadriel. And she's just kind of sitting there, and for some reason that made her smile. I would have been offended. Like, excuse me? I look like another person when the light hits my hair. I have questions. What the hell? No, that's not cool.
Well, and when he said that, when he said that you look like my Lady Galadriel, I honestly went, does she? Maybe if you kind of squint.
Are light skin with then okay, yes. But in that thing, like,
that was a lot of roboting you just did.
I did? No. Boo!
I didn't hear anything you just said. You're fine now.
Okay. I said, well, if your checklist is pale-skinned elf with blonde hair, then yes, I look exactly like her.
Yeah. That was about it. Like, no, yes. She doesn't. She doesn't look like her.
No. I kind of would say she's prettier than Galadriel.
I think she is a little prettier,
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, it's not a very high bar.
it is not a high bar. The elves are surprisingly not attractive for some reason.
Especially Gil-galad and Elrond. It's like you're supposed to be like these ethereal, beautiful people,
I give
and I just want
Elrond
to,
a slight pass.
I just want to punch you guys in the face.
Gil-galad, I do not give a pass to. Elrond gets a slight pass because he's half human. All right. But like, I give him a pass in Lord of the Rings because he's also seen like thousands of years of war.
Yes,
So,
he was there when he saw the fall of man. So yeah,
he's been through some shit. Okay,
Yeah.
so. Now, oh, well, guess what? We're back in Numenor. How exciting! It's your favorite scene. It's the scene at the shrine.
This scene, I described it before we started. It was paint by numbers.
Yeah,
You
I
can
will
tell
say-
every single thing that happens coming a mile away. It was so predictable.
I'll give them one thing. There's one thing I actually liked in this scene. I liked that at Numenor, which is like very like according to the show at least, very like strong with like tides with water and boats, you know.
Mhm.
That they honor their dead with little seashells and candles. I like that. That's fun.
And setting them afloat in I guess a river. Yeah,
That's
I'm fine
kind
with
of
that.
cool. I like that. That's a little nice detail. I do think again, Farazan does another dumb look at that. He decides to shut down a popular shrine for people to have like religious, things with. And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Because
I
they
would
have to
like
make way for the new aqueduct when they're they're surrounded by an ocean and the place is already very green. So
Yeah.
why do you need another aqueduct?
I don't think they do. I don't understand.
He's just being a dick.
He's just being a dick.
And then
How
it's also at night, which is a bizarre time to send your men out to shut a place down. It's like why not just let them finish their service and then you can condemn it the following day when like people actually be there.
Yeah, that would make sense. But would you like to? I need to go use the bathroom really quick. Would you like to take over for this scene? Because I know you love scene.
This scene was amazing.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
All right. Go to the bathroom. Go ahead and take over talking about it.
Okay. So we have our little memorial moment, which, as Era said, was fine. No, I had no real problems with that. And then douchebag canoe, Kemen, whatever his name is, comes in and goes, okay, I'm shutting this whole place down because we got to make way for the new aqueduct. And I guess construction is scheduled to start the following morning. And so, people are outraged, and Elendil tells them, people are all angry and upset, and Elendil goes, "Hey, everyone, let's just, this is not the time. Let us just leave peacefully." And that's what they start to do. And when the priest, I guess, starts to pack up like the relics and things, Kemen was like, all right, arrest him. He's not leaving. And he's like, I have to take this Our Lady of whoever. It was like a statue of like of someone. I'm not sure who. And he's like, if we don't have her, then the souls can't leave the water. Something like that. Whatever. They need it for their rituals. And Elendil tells them, okay, you know what? All right, hey, just let the man get his stuff, and we're out, and we're leaving. We're leaving. We're getting out of here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what he should have done. Instead, he yells at Kemen, get that for him, boy. So he's not... He's actively escalating the situation.
Who? Dishkanu?
Yes. Well, no. Elendil. I just got to Elendil.
Oh, yeah, they both did that.
It's like, okay, I mean, this whole thing's happening, and Elendil's like, give him the relic, boy. It's like, you've needlessly escalated the situation.
Yes.
Yeah. So he then... So douchebag canoe grabs douche canoe. I'm sorry.
There you go. You're fine.
Yeah. Be better.
Character represented like accurately,
Okay. And I don't know about you. I saw where this was going a mile away.
Yeah, this was obviously going to be a fight, and then it became a sword fight, and then, yeah. Well, I knew exactly how it was going to end the second he didn't actually kill him, which he should have, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stood up and turned his back, and then I was like, and there it is.
Yeah. So, douche canoe grabs the relic and does the whoops and just drops it, and it shatters. And despite the old man saying how precious this thing was, he doesn't seem that broken up about it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And then a fight broke out between Elendil and what's his face, that soldier, Isildur friend dude, whatever his name was. It's not important.
It's like starts with a V. I can't remember what it is.
It's literally not important.
Honestly, it's a who cares moment.
Yeah. And the guards like hold Elendil back, but they let their boss fight the trained soldier.
Yeah.
They're absolutely useless.
Honestly, if the guards weren't there, I think they would have been better off.
They just let their boss fight this man. Okay. So the douche canoe gets what's his face on the floor, and he's like shoving his face into the water, and it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Even though the way they're positioned, the guy has total leverage and could easily just kick him off of him.
Oh my god, do you know how much I was saying kick?
Yes.
Kick. That's one of my least favorite things in stories. One of my pet peeves is when somebody has the room and the leverage and the ability to kick and they don't. It's like they completely forget they have a lower half of their body.
It's not like Kemen was like sitting like on his waist, preventing him from being able to utilize his legs or anything like that. He was like crouched up on top of him. Clearly he has room to kick. Like he's like almost like standing over him while like leaning over.
Yes.
It's like just kick. Just kick.
Yeah.
Plus, also, you clearly outweigh him by like 30 pounds.
Yeah, you're like you have like it looks like leather padding, but also like lots of muscle, particularly in your upper body if you've been doing, being on ships and whatnot, and having to
Yeah.
deal with just general upkeep of ships. Lots of that shit it requires a lot of like upper body strength.
Yeah.
And he's a trained fighter as well. So there's that as well.
He's
He's
seen combat.
yeah, and you have this politician,
Politician's
who looks like he
son.
would be the. I'm sorry, you have what would basically be like the cupbearer in Game of Thrones. Okay, like
Yeah.
the guy who would like fill up your drink. Like a servant. Like,
Yeah.
he would be
Fighting a sergeant.
He's so tiny, fighting a sergeant, and I'm just like, how are you losing?
I mean, like, you should be embarrassed by this.
Like he should be
Now,
wiping the floor with him.
if the guards were also involved in the fight, that's a different story. But they were just standing back, not doing a thing. The guards were completely useless.
I'd be so mad at them. Totally, I would have been.
I would be like, you're all getting fired. I want you to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So so what's his face was able to eventually get Dushkanu off of him, and then he picks up his sword and like holds it no, first he breaks his arm.
Yeah,
he breaks the politician's arm because you were losing to a politician. That can't be understated. So you were failing miserably in this fight.
Yes.
And then he grabs his sword and then holds it right to the politician Dushkanu's throat. And then Alendia goes, "No, stop." And he just like holds it for a second, and then he throws the sword down right next to the guy that was trying to murder him just a few seconds ago, and then starts walking back to Elendil. It's like you can see where this was going a mile away. Yes. And then
you should have put him out with the broad portion of the sword.
Or throw it into the water, or take the sword with you, or like, why?
Yeah. You should have made him unconscious instead of killing him. And then, yeah.
Or again, just
take it
or
with you.
You could have just taken, sheathed the sword or thrown it into the water. Just don't drop it right next to the guy that clearly wanted to kill you. What are you thinking?
He wasn't. Which is why he dies.
Yeah, because then, bam, the blade goes right through his chest. He falls over, and you see Dushkanu falling backwards, having stabbed him. Like, you got killed by a politician with his offhand. Congratulations, you deserve it.
True. It was kind of embarrassing.
It's like, wow. It's a shockingly pathetic death. And it's one of those, I've seen these kind of moments in other works done way better.
Yes. I was like, wow, that's how you went out?
When Becky and I were watching it, I told her this scene is unbelievably predictable. So something would happen, I'd pause it and then have her like, okay, what happens? And she called it right every time. Like, it's that predictable.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not difficult to figure out what's going on.
No. I mean, the moment he dropped the sword, like, right next to him, you're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
really didn't
a
expect much from the character.
a politician using his offhand kills a trained soldier. Okay. And I'm gonna guess this is how Isildur's sister goes back to siding with her dad. I'm guessing that's what they're gonna do with this.
Oh, I have no idea. Because he does say at the end, what does he say? Hold on. Say the line. Hold on. There is a line that is said. Hold on a second. Come on, say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say the line. Inform the jailer he was the one who started the uprising. So, Elendil, or him. I don't know who exactly. I'm
Why
not sure
wouldn't
they're
you? Why
blaming
would?
this on Elendil.
Why wouldn't you blame it on the guy you killed?
Because he's not smart. He's just not.
No, he's not.
All right.
Next scene.
Next scene, which is my favorite.
Oh.
So Sauron and for the same reason why that one was your favorite. For Sauron and Celebrimbor are talking, and Sauron's kind of implying that Durin is manipulating him because there's nothing wrong with those rings. Be careful about manipulating. He says one of those stupid flowery things that they always say, and Celebrimbor's like, "Hey, did you in some way alter the dwarven rings? Yes or no?" And Sauron takes 20 seconds to say no, and Celebrimbor's like, "Okay, that's fine." And I'm just like, wow. So, are you incapable of understanding what a lie is, Celebrimbor? Are you actually incapable of thinking anyone can lie?
He's remarkably stupid.
I'm impressed. Would you have taken his answer regardless of what he said? As total fact. It's bizarre. I don't know why.
Yeah. But he starts to walk away and going, thank God. All right.
Yeah, it's like he's gaslit and manipulated you several times. And
then he does it again!
Yes, and then it's funny because he's at the point of, if you're at the point of asking someone if they'd be willing to do that, you need to double check in your brain, right?
Maybe not have them be your main advisor. Just saying.
Yeah. He really does take a say no. It's 5 whole seconds. That's a lot. But then, okay, hold on. I'm so excited for this because this really blew my mind. I laughed. I had to tell him. And he's like, "No, but we did. We altered it." And Celebrimbor like, "What?"
It's like,
what do you mean?
You can't possibly be this stupid.
Oh, that's so good. I want to read this thing out. "These are matters of the spirit as much as craft. And this time we brought deceit into the process." Deceit? What deceit could you possibly be? And Sauron's just giving him these big eyes, and he's like, "The letter." Celebrimbor's like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "No." And I was also like, "Yeah, no." What the hell are you talking about, Sauron?
Like, dude, you made the rings, and the show wants you to believe that the 3 elven rings are fine, but
they do not. They are not conveying that to me. I 1000% think they're corrupt.
no, but the show thinks that they're fine.
Okay. Well,
And so
I don't think they are.
but the only difference, because you said that the you use the same process, the same materials, even the same tools were used when making the 7 dwarven rings. Literally the only difference was Sauron was there. So put it together, buddy. What could the corrupting factor be?
Well, the only difference was that you touched the stuff that went inside the dwarven wings. Although, like, it's very weird to think that Sauron was there for the elven rings, and also it's weird just calling them all, because they're technically all elven rings. It's just
I know.
Anyway, I'm having to having to measure that out in my brain hurts. Because it's silly.
It makes so much more sense the way Tolkien said it.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as complicated and convoluted.
No, it's not. Yeah, Sauron's like, you lied. You lied. Hey, that was not a lie. First of all, I can't remember. Yes, it was. That was a lie. But there's no point in...
You literally lied to the king. So yeah, you lied.
You lied. And yeah. It's like your high king consented to the 3. But the 7 were forged beneath a cloak of deception. And I'm just sitting here like...
I had some good spin doctor in there, buddy.
So that's funny that you're spinning this. But Celebrimbor, tell me you're not actually buying this, because this is utter horseshit. So you need to leave and go confess your sins to your king, or confess the truth to your king.
And Sauron.
Like, no.
And Sauron. What happens if he goes, "You're right," and then leaves? Shut down the forge and then leaves. What now? What do you do?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you would never permit me to forge anything ever again. It is either that, or we plunge straight on, even deeper into the maelstrom. And I'm just like, what the shit? This is not working. Callie, sweetie, honey, baby, you cannot be falling for this. This is so stupid. This is the most ignoramus thing I have ever heard in my life, because you lied about the forge being turned off.
Yeah.
To your king. The dwarven rings are now corrupted. Absolutely fuck off. Get out of here. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And it just made me laugh. I had to share it with Loki.
Yes.
It was I just laughed and laughed at it.
And then especially after...
Like, this man is a moron.
Especially after the previous scene when Durin asks, could something have gone wrong with the ring maker? And you knew the one person who's different was Sauron being there. And now he's like, well, you told a fib, and that's clearly corrupting the entire process. Like, what? It's so dumb.
I was like, first of all, how old is Celebrimbor? Are we really going to go ahead and suggest this was the first time he lied?
He's from the First Age. Pretty sure he's from the First Age.
Yeah, so he's old as shit. Okay, so
yes.
There we go. Old as shit. This is not the first time he's lied. I'm trying to think, in the first season, did he lie?
Don't recall anything.
Okay. Well, I was hoping there was something, but that's fine. There's no way. He's like thousands of years old. He lied at some point. Even if it's saying, hey, this chicken's good, it was shit, okay? Like, it's something. There's no way, you know?
Maybe when maybe when he was, visiting the dwarves, and like Disa, like, made her homemade, chicken, and he's like, oh, it's great.
Oh, hey, look, I summoned Loki. That's funny. There are 1,000 poor souls that think this is how it actually happened. They don't have subsidies to pay for watching this. Hey, I'm watching this horse shit. How dare you? It's just really funny. Just the fact that that's what convinces him to probably continue with the 9. Like the next episode, he's going to be doing the 9. I'm just like, oh my god.
And I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue who he's going to be giving the rings to, because we haven't been introduced to anybody.
No, but I will say Loki. You know what it reminds me of, Loki? It reminds me of friend when you went to that party all those years ago, and your friend told you because you wanted to leave on time for your curfew, and you were running late, and your friend told you, well, you can't be more late. And so you saved like an extra 6 hours. So that's what this reminds me of, is like just we can't be more corrupt. We've already crossed the threshold, so we might as well continue onward.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah. It's like when someone's on a killing spree, and it's like, well, I've already murdered one person. Does it make a difference?
Yeah, exactly.
We've all been there, right? Right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
There was a lot more to that story.
I know there was a lot more to that story, but it's still really, really funny to me that it's like, hey, yeah, you can't be more late. That's just a really funny way to put that, because it's like, well, technically, yes, but also no. So, yes, there's a lot more. I was just making an example because that's what that reminded me of, was the idea of, well, we've already made corrupt shit. We might as well continue making corrupt shit because,
Might as well.
Yeah. So I kind of did skip ahead accidentally by mistake. The Disa scene where Darren walks in, it's just like, well, I know, right? The scene with Disa seeing Darren in his neck crown comes after the scene with Celebrimbor. It's like, oh, well, can't be helped. Right. I just got my title back.
It's a fair trade. Which I thought he got his title back before. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that happened.
I thought they made it up. I thought they did make up, but whatever.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ram Bam.
Yeah. So yeah, swear to me you will never wear one of those rings. And I actually don't know if Durin wears one of those rings or not from the lore. Does he?
Offhand, I don't know if the Dwarven Lords were ever mentioned, like who they were. I honestly don't know.
I don't think they were mentioned in the show yet. Durin being it, because they are in Khazad-dûm, right? That makes total sense, obviously. But I don't know about the others. And I don't know if we really care about the others because Khazad-dûm is so important. And honestly, I don't want more storylines. We have so many that I'm having to keep up with. But I'm very happy we got so many door scenes. Look, chemistry! Josh, oh my gosh. It almost seems like they actually give a shit about each other. And they're acting relatively like a married couple who are concerned and worried about the future. And I want to protect these two, and I want them to go far away to a different fantasy universe where they could go and be actual dwarves with good storylines. I want to protect them. They deserve better than this. Yeah.
Okay, so I just looked it up. It's implied that Durin the Third had one of the 7 rings, and then Durin the Fourth's son got it.
Oh no!
And
oh gosh.
And that's it. Other than that, it mentions the families that had them. But that's it.
This is gonna suck. Okay, great. Ugh. Because Disa and Durin are my favorite parts of the show, and that's gonna absolutely destroy them, and I hate that. I hate that a lot. Because like the only thing I find tolerable in this show is basically going to disappear. It's on a time limit now.
Yeah.
And that makes me upset. Gosh, I'm not happy with that.
You're welcome.
Sad. Big sad. Oh, hold on. I forgot about this scene. We're almost done. We're back with Celebrimbor because he's my favorite, obviously. He's definitely not the dumbest person alive. I just stopped on a scene. It says we have failed every one of us. It's just
that just sums up the entire damn show.
Yes. So this scene's kind of just silly because it's like the elven Smiths are like, hey, I don't know what the hell went wrong, and honestly, why would they? But they say such flowery language, my brain starts to glaze over. We must atone for the mistakes in the only way we can, by completing the rings together. Which, good job, you moron. I have no idea. Okay. In one episode, you went from, hey, the men are corrupt and shit. I'm just not going to have anything to do with that. You should have kicked him out, turned off your furnace. Instead, you allowed him to continue. He has multiple times tried to very obviously manipulate you. And then Sauron just gives you the dumbest reason. Everything else made a little bit of sense. Hey, can you please help us? We don't want to destroy everything or get anyone hurt. Can you help us figure this shit out? And that made more sense. Or him just appealing to the fact of, hey, I want to help. Stop the influence of Mordor on men by giving them these rings. That'll kind of help them fight that influence, that made more sense. No, the one that stuck was, hey, you wrote a letter where you lied to your king, and now the dwarf rings are evil. Also, we're not going to apparently go to Khazad-dûm and ask for them back, because we got to redo them now. Because that's obviously what would happen if you're going to go about it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we kind of fucked up with these, so we're going to, yeah. We're going to just, we're going to go kind of redo. It's a recall. There we go. It's a recall order. All your rings. We'll redo them. Okay, we fucked it up. Because that's obviously what you would do. You wouldn't just go, oh, hey, so we made some corrupt dwarven rings. Oh, well, let's make some more corrupt men rings.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Manipulation worked. It's so stupid. It's like hold on. What did he say? By completing the rings together. Okay, come on. Give me the dialogue. The 9 must do far more than bring aid to men. They must bring balance to the entire project, which I have no clue how the fuck that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It's like, yes.
Yes.
Let's see.
They must
That's
draw strength.
yes, 19. Such a balanced number.
Yes, they must draw strength from the. You'd almost say you need one more to kind of complete the set.
Yeah, one ring maybe to bind them all. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like the duct tape on this little project right there. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
the,
so we're
the,
gonna.
the whole like, you know, you crafted these rings in corruption, so let's just do more corruption. Okay.
Okay. We haven't resolved what the fuck the corruption was. But
Or how
because
to
if it
fix
was the
it.
lie
Yeah.
of the letter, then like how undo that?
Yeah. But then he may not. He might lose his forge.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of my favorite lines of the whole episode. And any of you who offers so much as a hair's breadth less than his utmost effort is a Smith of Aragon no longer. Wow, what an asshole! I would definitely walk. This is what a douchebag.
Yeah. He's
So who
he's
decides
having
what
them
the?
he's having them sign an NDA.
Yeah, it's like what the shit. Okay, can I contact my labor union rep guy?
I need to see my rep. I'm sorry. This is
Yeah, this sounds weird. So, like, what do you mean by that? Like, how many hours a day are we working? Do we still get our legal lunch break? What are you asking for here?
we sent that one girl to like some sort of demon realm, and she hasn't been right since. What's up with that? We want to continue doing this,
Yes.
and that we're getting complaints that the dwarves feel that there's corruption in the rings we gave them after like we made their door. Like what's going on?
Yes. Have I made myself plain? And they were like, yeah, I guess. He just kind of angrily walks through them, and I'm just like, what the hell? I would leave. I would 1000% leave. But you have not given me
Seriously, it seriously would have made a lot of sense if they had like after that sequence, the camera panned over and you saw that girl elf, and she looks concerned, and you see her leave, and and she's and then you could do like a story where she's the one that goes and informs Gilgalad what's going on. Just with the way they've set things up, you could have done that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also I don't mind them all saying yeah, to him, but then like when Sauron starts talking, they kind of look at him and kind of treat him with more respect because they like him more.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Like Celebrimbor's not in charge really anymore. He's kind of the figurehead who pretends basically. Or like
that could work too, but in that case you need to show Sauron being charismatic and give the elves a reason to like him more than Celebrimbor.
All right, I'm gonna level with you, Josh. I don't think this actor I don't think he can do charisma.
Well, yeah.
I have been waiting. I've been waiting for the charisma to show because, like, how many times do I have to say it? Charisma is an underrated thing to be amazing at. For some reason, people just underestimate it time and time again. Even though we had so many stories that showcase why when a bad person has charisma, it's fucking dangerous.
Yep.
Ugh. Driving me crazy. That is what this show is doing. Ugh.
And then we get And then is this where we get the orc scene?
Hold on. Skipping through, blah, 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 blah. Celebrimbor's shaking. I don't care. He's an idiot. And then we have the orc scene. Very last scene. They polish this thing off. There's orcs, and they're snarling, and they're walking in the woods, and la, la, la. They see, I think is that a Ravion?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so, 'cause with the tower forge, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a
Bear
Ragion.
I'm really far away from it. I know it doesn't look like it is, but that's like miles away.
Yeah.
So
And the orcs don't seem to be bothered by being out in sunlight now.
no. Trees. Yeah. Trees completely block out the sun.
Yeah.
It's basically like having a ceiling above your head.
Yeah.
So. Oh my gosh, they keep throwing many things at the end. And then all of a sudden Elrond's here, which holy shit. Hi Elrond. He runs rushing into Gil-galad's office, and it's just like, hey, we fucked it. We totally fucked up. The orcs
I
are not in Mordor.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah, the orcs are not in Mordor. Holy shit. A legion of them are headed for Eregion. And he's like, Galadriel was right. You must send an army to Eregion this very moment. And Gil-galad's like, well, that's not possible. I have reason to believe that Sauron is the architect of all of this. And I'm sitting here like,
Didn't we already know that?
Gil-galad, I'm sorry. Where the fuck have you been? Do you not remember the reason you sent them out to begin?
Yeah.
Gil-galad, are you getting Alzheimer's? Like elf Alzheimer's? Like, what's happening here? There a little dementia thing happening? Because, like, is that not the reason you sent them to Aragon? Aragon, whatever his stupid place is. Called. Because I thought that's why you sent Galadriel, Elrond, and the red shirt elves. I thought that's why you sent them there. So that you could. Also, Gil-galad, should you not be just like absolutely baffled that Elrond is running back to you? Totally like Galadriel's not with Gil-galad. Why he's acting way too calm. It bothers me how calm Gil-galad's acting. He's just kind of like, Galadriel's not with you, and what the hell's happening here? And what do you mean we need to do this? What do you? It starts asking questions like immediately, kind of just totally like shocked at Elrond's appearance, just suddenly there. I don't understand Gil-galad's like chillness over this. And he's like, High King Aragon, whatever, is the very jewel of the Elvendom. And I just like, yeah. I thought that's where y'all were going. To like confirm that. And then they were gonna send legions to Mordor for some reason. I guess to combat the orcs. But I don't know. I'm just confused. Josh, explain to me what's happening.
I don't know.
You don't know either. Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
Gil-galad is chill. I don't understand why he's not freaking out, because I certainly would be.
And again, like, I thought you knew that was Sauron.
And I also-
I'm still at that point.
And then that, of course, is like, yeah, well, we have reason to believe that Sauron's like, yeah, because she fucking told you, the person you sent away. This has already been established. This is established since episode 1. We're on episode 5, bitch. Where the hell have you been? Like, it's just, okay, they're not in Mordor now. They're headed to Eregion. Of course, there's probably still some in Mordor, so it would make more sense to go to the source of the orcs in Mordor, but there's like, there's like an offshoot of them and going to Eregion,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what the hesitation is.
Yeah, so it's like I guess it's fine to send him to Mordor, but then also it's like, okay, so Halbrand is Sauron. We know Halbrand really likes Celebrimbor. Now all of a sudden we think that Sauron is heading the orcs. Orcs are now headed for Rhaegon. What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So that means Sauron's in Rhaegon. Okay, probably means Celebrimbor didn't get the
Region, say it
message.
right.
Shut up. Celebrimbor didn't get the message, and now there's orcs getting ready to take over Rhaegon, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't. Okay, I'm trying to watch this thing because it's frustrating me. If it were to fall, it would be a mortal blow to all of Middle Earth. I'm just saying, probably not. I'm probably not Elrond, but that's
in fact, if that forge was destroyed, it'd be better off for everybody.
Unironically, everything would be better if the forge was destroyed. Because like those rings don't mean nearly as much if the one ring isn't forged.
Right. Oh god.
So
Are the elves or are the orcs gonna capture the forge and take it to Mordor? Is that what's gonna happen?
I would love that.
That'd be amazing.
Our armies cannot defeat both Adar and Sauron. Bitch, you took down Balrogs and Morgoth. What the hell? So you have some little asshole that has a bunch of orcs, and then you have Sauron. You took down Morgoth. You took down Balrogs. What the shit? These are First Age elves.
You have in this show. In this show itself, you have shown a company of like 3 or 4 elves can take down a troll. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. What the hell did y'all do? You know? What the shit? This is embarrassing, guys.
You also showed a one elf taking on like a whole group of bandits single-handedly. Like,
the elf power.
What are you talking about?
We can't do both. You absolutely can. You've done worse. You have taken on worse and won.
Yeah.
What do you even mean? Go, Galen. I don't know. Go take a nap. All right. I don't know. Go.
Go away.
Go away. Okay. Like
he is a useless king.
He is one of my least favorite characters in here. The Harfoots I kind of just chalk up as like an entity in and of themselves.
Yeah.
They're annoying. Gil Galad, though, as like a character, it's like
this
is my by the way, this is my introduction to him. All I know is this show and the fact that he gets absolutely nuked in the battle.
Yes.
For Middle Earth.
I mean, you do see him briefly in the Peter Jackson films. He is one of the elves holding the rings, but that's it.
And then he gets nuked.
Yes, he does.
Absolutely, he gets toasted.
Yes, despite wearing the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, he gets charcoaled for wearing the Ring of Fire.
And then Gandalf gets it.
Yeah, honestly, better fit.
Yeah.
So I just so funny. It is just so funny to me. Anyway. All right, now we have the scene, right? There we have the orcs. And the orcs in the cage and blah, blah, blah. There's really not a whole lot with this scene that y'all need to know about, except Galadriel is out of the cage.
It is unironically her best performance of the entire series.
Yes, unironically.
Because she does not say a word in her minute of screen time. She says nothing.
Yeah, and actually is able to convey shit with her face. Well done.
Yes. She still does something really stupid.
She is incapable, I swear, of any other attack. That is what she does. She takes a tiny knife or dagger and she like pointed at someone's face. That person then allows themselves to be captured, and then she pointed at their throat.
And again,
like 4 times.
And it is she's surrounded by orcs. You're not gonna get away with this.
You're not leaving this alive. So
yeah.
If you do that.
It's like, I mean, the family man orc who we saw right there, he could have a spear behind you, and the moment you do anything, just impale you and you're done.
Yeah. It's glad you're out of the cage, or she has called it the cage.
Oh my goodness.
The cage. Oh, and that's it. Thank God. Ugh. I know this was going to be shorter.
Well, no. Add it, because he's like, don't kill me, for we have a common foe. And then it just does a close-up of Sauron, and that's it.
Yep.
God.
Yeah. So, we got sidetracked there for a few times.
A little bit.
It's okay.
My internet having issues today didn't help either.
It's okay. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got till next week. How exciting.
Yay.
Yay.
There's only 3 left. Only 3 episodes left.
And then another 2.5 years.
I'm hoping that Amazon will cancel it.
I both want it to and don't want it to, just because I want to see how far they're going to go.
I mean, it would be funny if they just keep pumping this out.
Yes. Every 2 years, like this stupid thing comes out, and you're just like, oh my gosh. All right, Josh, you got anything coming up?
A nap.
No? Okay. I also have nothing coming up. So that's it.
Yay.
That's all we got. So till next week, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.